Hey guys, this is the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for October 20th, 2024. We're going to be doing our final thoughts here in the Week 7 NFL picks. Going to get into a bunch of stuff, some teaser probabilities and whatnot, player props and whatnot. So going to be a great show as always with our co-host here. Before we intro him, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. I of course am wearing one of the Walter Football shirts. You may have noticed it's not the one from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I wore the same shirt 3 days in a row because that's how we do in the father of kids under 3 lifestyle here. But I now have a new shirt, so this is the second day in a row I've been wearing it. So that's how we roll. But yeah, you can buy one of these shirts to help out the show. As you can see here, there's save 20% off. There's a 20% off sale, so take advantage of that if you guys want to help out. It's a great way to really help us out. And I'm going to be putting up a new shirt soon. I'm going to work on it tonight. I actually said I was going to work on it Thursday night, but I actually passed that out on my computer. I actually fell asleep like this. And I woke up and my eye hurt so much because I guess my finger was jammed in it. It was and I fell asleep for 2 hours too. Sometimes I doze off on my computer. It's 15 minutes, but it was 2 hours that time. So my eye hurt for the next day. It was for real. But anyway, I will be putting a new shirt up. I think you guys will like it a lot. It's something we discussed before, but I want to surprise you guys. So anyway, you could also support us with super chats, super stickers. All that would be really appreciated. We've had some great ones recently. Slew, John Sanders, Can't Make an Eagle, Germ. You guys have been so awesome with your contributions, and many others in the past, including Cassandra. And I have to mention that, of course. There you go. Cassandra, you're tired. In the game tomorrow morning at an idiotic time. I hate it. I'm really looking forward to sleeping 2 hours tonight and waking up. And as I told Tom last night when we were talking about our picks, I was like, I basically view it as a nap. So it's less depressing when you're instead of going to sleep for 2 hours, you're like, oh, I'm going to take a 2-hour nap. So anyway, that's the super chat, super stickers. Like I said, always helps a lot because YouTube ads don't pay us anything at all. Also, you can go to Amazon, buy my books, Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people in college. Also, how the 2020 MVP was stolen, which is how Brett Favre tried to sabotage Aaron Rodgers 4 years ago. So you can read about that on Amazon. So anyway, we are joined by Tom, Quacky T, as always on Saturdays. Tom, how are you? How's your week 6?
Walt, here we are again. Hey, you're talking about not wearing the same shirt 3 days in a row, especially during COVID times, and how many days in a row have you ever worn the same shirt? Because I think 3 is probably Bush League numbers for some people.
It's probably true. Yeah, I mean, look, but those people aren't going on live on YouTube,
right?
wearing the same shirt. They can get away with that if they're at home by themselves or with one or two other people. If you're you're not going to be embarrassed in front of your roommates or your wife or whatever. But if you're broadcasting to thousands of people, then suddenly it's a little different. I will say though, wearing the same pants. I probably have done that for 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, who hasn't? If you haven't, you haven't lived.
Yeah,
I would say. But what I was thinking, do I really need more than 12 shirts? I wear a lot of dress clothes, but it's who's really going to see me? And even if they have you ever heard a lot? What's somebody going to say? Oh, you wore that shirt last week. No one's going to say that to me at this juncture of my life. I don't think I need. I think I can downgrade my wardrobe. At age 38 here.
Well, I think women notice that more than men, but I don't think women expect men to wear different clothes all the time. I think women are harsher toward other women wearing the same stuff. They'll trash talk other women. Can you believe she wore that blouse she wore 3 weeks ago? You'll get that sort of deal. But with guys, no one cares with guys. You can actually in a high school there's this guy. He's actually he's a nice guy. I don't want to make fun of him, so I'm not going to say his name or anything like that. During the high school reunions, we had some nice talks. So I don't know if he's even watching, but I guess he went through a phase in high school because he wore the same outfit. No joke, it was a week in a row, every single day. Every single day it was the same outfit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like we like people even noticed it, like why is he wearing the same clothes like every single day? It wasn't even like a nice shirt. It was a green sweatshirt and green sweatpants, and it's like every single day. It's like did his house burn down? It's like the only clothes he has. And like I said, he ended up being a nice guy. So I don't like I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
I hope he's not taking offense to that. But
No,
we all
no,
did
it's just
we all did weird things in high school, myself included. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, we're not. Yeah, we're not hating on him. It's just like
yeah,
it's something of note.
yeah.
But hey, how about it? What if I've said it once, Walter, I've said it 1,000 times. How about Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos this Thursday night? Just doing whatever they wanted, huh?
Well, let's not say Bo Nix and the Broncos. Let's just say the Broncos because Bo Nix had a lot of mistakes in that game. He was lucky to get away with some turnovers. There's an interception that was dropped. Tyrann Mathieu had the ball right in his hands. Mathieu
Yeah,
makes the play 9 out of 10 times, and like that would have been a pick six, I think. And
yeah.
Bo Nix got away with some some potentially bad plays in that game. So that was all Denver. By the way, Denver's defense is great, but the offensive line getting Mike McGlinchey back is just a huge deal because they were missing their backup right tackle too. So that was very helpful. So they have a nice like base, but Bo Nix kind of sucks, and he doesn't really have anyone to throw to except for
Blasphemy, man.
Cortland Sutton. Devon Vele, by the way, had 2 penalties negate the
Yeah,
over.
I saw that.
So brutal, so brutal. But we did hit with Spencer Rattler on their pass.
Oh yeah, what a beautiful call, man.
That was
I
nice.
was my heart was in my throat for a while there, but
Yep.
it came through. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to prove you wrong, man. I hope Bo Nix does well. Put some respect on the Broncos, you know.
I was on a draft show before the 2024 NFL draft. It was the One Bar and Lopagus show. They've been around for so long. They're a couple of great guys. But I kind of like trash talk Bo Nix like pretty hard on that show. And they said, well, when you come on next year, you should have a I hate Bo Nix T-shirt. So if he continues to do poorly, I will have that in the merch store because I
No,
will
you
wear it
better.
on the show.
No, you can't put that on there, man. You can't make that shirt. I'm gonna make an I love Bo Nix shirt and sell it on my website that I'm gonna make just for the purposes of selling that shirt and getting back at you. Don't be
All right.
hating on Bo.
I thought you were gonna say I hate Walter football because
No,
he made that Bo shirt.
no, I want them to be good, and he's definitely like improving. You know, I feel like I think that team could be all right.
Is he
I,
improving?
you know, I don't know. I think the Broncos are better than people think. So anyhow, we can.
I actually don't think they're better than people think. They had some very lucky wins. They got all 4 teams at their worst. They got 2 teams that were unfocused. They got 2 teams that were severely banged up. And it wasn't too long ago. It was what it was actually a week ago that they were destroyed by the Chargers. The Chargers went 23-0, and the Broncos scored all their other points in garbage time. So that was not a close game at all. Like the Chargers dominated
Right.
that from start to finish. It was start to end of third quarter.
Yeah. No, and we both like the Chargers in that spot too. But I don't know. I'm just saying I don't think they're that bad.
Pro 16K agrees with you. He said Bo will be great. He just needs more
Okay.
NFL games. I don't know about great. Maybe he's going to be okay at some point. I think he could be like a good game manager who scrambles and is accurate in the short intermediate passing
Yeah.
game. But his downfield throwing is just very poor. I don't think he'll ever be a great quarterback. People who hate now are just impatient. You were wrong about Denver, Walt.
Oh yeah.
Okay, look. I've been wrong before. Maybe I'm wrong here. I just don't know. I'm just
I
calling
like
it
the
like I see it.
Broncos. I like the
Calling it like
Broncos, man.
okay. All right. Do you think Ken Walker plays? He was downgraded with an illness. I don't know. I was kind of confused by that. I was going to put the Seahawks in the Super Contest. I already did in the Circa because the deadline was 3:00. Super Contest deadline was 6, and then that news broke at like 5:00. So I took them off and I put Dolphins instead, just because like not really so much as Walker because like what if there's an illness going around the locker room? I didn't want to be a part of that. Like the flu or something. But it could be like food poisoning. I don't know. I didn't know exactly what it was. So it depends what it is. Like I just don't know. I don't think we have like all the info of like what this illness is. But if he's usually downgrades are a bad sign. But I don't know. I truly think he's like 50-50 in play. I just don't know. I couldn't even like make a guess. Oh, Walker birthday's tomorrow. Okay, that's maybe that's the illness. He drank too much. There you go. We solved the mystery.
Yeah, everyone gets the stomach flu the next day.
Yep.
Real bad.
And yeah, in my book, the one on the screen, I had a story about how I had to do a class presentation with this girl. I called her Danielle in the book. It's not her name, but she was really cool. But she got so drunk for her 21st birthday, and we had to give an oral presentation, just the two of us. And like I like it's I thought it was a funny story in that book. So maybe an advertisement for you guys to buy that book. Anyway, let's get to the games here. The first game on the slate is the last of the dreadful London games. Just thank goodness.
Oh no, are you serious? This is the last one?
This is the last London game, but we're having a Germany game in.
So, yes, I love these games. I love the early ones.
So bad. So anyway, so the Jaguars moved up to -6 since the last time we spoke. So it looks like sharp money's coming in on Jacksonville. The Patriots are a public dog here. I kind of sold you on the Jaguars on our call last night, and basically what I said was like, there's no better motivational factor here for the Jaguars. Like they got embarrassed in London, and like the international stage is huge. Like think about how many coaches have been fired because of bad London performances. And the Jaguars have been there for a week, just completely humiliated on international stage. They like everywhere they go in London or wherever they're staying. I'm sure like it's like they're the laughing stock. Like everyone is saying how much they suck. Like how much of a motivational factor is that? Like they're going to be playing at their best, and also they're going to have the body clock in their favor. Whereas the Patriots are a team that has a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, traveling over the seas for the first time, both of them traveling over the seas for the first time. I don't think they're going to be able to handle this nearly as well as other teams. And I think the Jaguars are just going to take it to them and beat them pretty easily. My player prop for this game is Evan Ingram over receiving yards. It is 46.5. The Patriots are horrible against tight ends. It wasn't too long ago. 2 weeks ago, it was Jonnu Smith just like shredding them. Last week, Dalton Schultz actually went under, but he dropped like 3 or 4 passes. And like if he caught like even one of them, he would have gone over as well. So I love Evan Ingram. I have no same game parlay for this yet because the rushing props haven't been posted yet because Travis Etienne is a game time decision somehow, even though they said he's gonna be out for a few weeks. But like I can't bet on Bigsby over, which I want to do. So I don't know if I'm gonna have a same game parlay for this because if they release those props early tomorrow, like I'm not going to be up in time to do it. So unfortunately that sucks, but I do like the Evan Ingram over receiving yards. So what do you think about this game?
Well, if you're Doug Peterson, you better win.
Yeah.
I like the Jags here too. I mean, as just like you said, they're adjusted here. And also, in that first game, Drake May, I mean, in the second half, he did have some strong moments in that game for sure, but I know that we both liked the Patriots last week, and they caught some bad breaks in that game too. With some, I think there were a couple like tip passes like in the air for interception, setting up Houston. So, but what was the situation with Drake? Didn't he get like a knee? His knee was getting checked out. Like I also don't like that. Like you're traveling across the ocean, across the ocean and over the rainbow, like in your second NFL start, and like your knee's like questionable, but like I don't think he has an injury designation, does he? Or did I miss something here?
He was full in practice every day, but he had an MRI on his knee, which is very bizarre. Like, how are you full if you had an MRI on your knee? Like something's going on there. I don't know.
Right. And I don't know, for whatever it's worth. I'm not saying that's like a huge part of the reasoning, but like it's something to consider, especially. I don't know. That's just a lot of things happening for your second start, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do I know? But I like the Jags here as well, and we've got them on our card. So
yeah, let's go Jags. Let's go Peterson. Save your job. All right.
First thing in the morning. Oh boy, you'll be up making breakfast. You'll be in there cooking Walt's, and they're cooking omelets and stuff.
Yeah, right. I will be eating Pop-Tarts after the game. I usually don't eat until after the game because I'm just doing way too much. Like during the game, I'm actually like writing stuff up or paying bills. and then like during the first half, and then the second half, I'm doing my final thoughts on the site. So I usually don't get to breakfast until after the game is over. So yeah, it'll be Pop-Tarts for me. Strawberry unfrosted, of course. Can't go frosted Pop-Tarts. It's disgusting. Unfrosted. Frosted Pop-Tarts are gross. I can't eat them.
But that's what most of them are. So you only
I know,
eat one type of Pop-Tart?
I know. People don't know how to eat Pop-Tarts properly. Like, like I would say, I'll give you this: like the first like 3 or 4 bites of a frosted Pop-Tart are like taste great, but then it's just way too much sugar. It just like it's gonna kill you. Like it's just like it's awful. Like it just becomes like so tiresome to eat. Whereas like an unfrosted Pop-Tart like actually tastes good like throughout the whole thing, and like you can eat 2 of them and be fine. So
I've never. I mean, I like unfrosted Pop-Tarts, but like I mean, I don't really eat Pop-Tarts. I can't remember the last time I ever had one.
That was my whole breakfast diet in college for 6 years.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had boxes of Pop-Tarts. That's all I had.
I mean, I had them in college too. I remember. Let me tell you something. I don't think I've ever eaten a toasted Pop-Tart. As crazy as that might sound. And also, I got a box of Pop. Like I just eat them right out of the box. I got a box of Pop-Tarts like within the last few years, and there were like all the different ways to eat a Pop-Tart. It's just like in the toaster, it's like straight out of the bag, and then it said frozen. So I was like, I guess I'll give that a try. So I put like a thing of Pop-Tarts in the freezer for like a few hours. I came back. It's like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll be something different than I don't expect. Dude, it was like biting into a freaking cinder block. I was like, why would they recommend this? Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like so like they get payback. They get charged for it.
Well, like no, but I mean, like, and then in hindsight, I felt like a dumbass because it's like that doesn't. Why would I think that was good? But I don't know. Like I was like, maybe it's like crisp, crunchy. I don't know.
I've never done it in a toaster either. Just because in college you didn't have toasters in your dorms. You know?
Yeah.
At least I didn't. I don't know if you.
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, no. I don't know anyone who had a toaster in the dorm. So I ate them raw all the time. And
yeah,
they're fine.
I wouldn't want them hot. I don't know. Food temperature doesn't mean anything to me, really.
It depends.
Yeah, I mean, right. It depends what it is. Like, I'd rather have, like, I'm just saying it's not going to be like if the food came out cold at a restaurant, like I probably wouldn't care that much. Like
do you want like cold French fries? Like it's like gross. Like
no, but at the same time, I wouldn't like. I don't think I'd complain about it either.
Let's do like a 3-hour Pop-Tarts. All right, let's get to the next game. Seahawks, Falcons.
Oh, what do we got? Battle of the Birds, man.
That's right, Battle of the Birds. It's not
everyone loves that. Everyone loves that.
Yeah. So this game, I like Seattle as long as it's +3. I think Seattle has a great motivational edge here. They got blown out by the 49ers on national TV, or quote unquote national TV, and they get extra rest, so they're going to be highly motivated to bounce back in this game. Atlanta, they've won a couple games in a row. They blew out Tampa on quote unquote national TV as well, and then they won last week, and they have Tampa again next week. So like that's basically for the division. I don't know how much they care about Seattle. A Seattle team that's going to be up for this, and I don't know how good Atlanta is. Like people just look at the record. It says 4-2. It's like, okay, Atlanta's good, right? But 3 of their games were against the other NFC South teams, which we know is like the worst division of football. 2 other games, they got blown out by the Steelers, and they should have lost to the Eagles. So I don't think this team is that good. The records show that, the stats, like they're 20th in defensive VPA. Everyone's saying like, oh, Seattle sucks defensively. Like Seattle's right next to them, 22nd in defensive VPA. So like these are basically the same teams, like high octane offenses with bad defenses. So I think this would be close. I don't think Atlanta deserves to be field goal favorite here. My prop for this game is Kyle Pitts over 39.5 receiving yards. That may seem gross, but he's gotten at least 59 receiving yards in 3 of the past 4 games. So the prop is only 39.5. He's gone at least 59 in 3 of the past 4. And Seattle is just awful against tight ends. Another team that's horrible against tight ends. So I like Kyle Pitts over. So what are your thoughts on this game?
Jeez, you took like everything I was going to say.
Sorry, I Jacob.
No, it's okay.
That's how I. You can go first next time.
No, it's okay. My analysis isn't really people aren't here for my analysis necessarily, but that's cool. No, like I think this line is weird too. I like Seattle as well because if this were like 4 or 5, I think people would still take Atlanta here. Don't you?
Maybe. I think it'd be close. It might be closer to 50-50 at that point, but that just proves your point.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of like that angle of it too because the Falcons are publicly backed here, are they not? So that kind of makes me like Seattle more. In addition to everything that you were saying, yeah, like I really like the angle, like you said, Seahawks coming off the extra rest, and then Falcons looking ahead to the Bucks. So it seems like a good spot for it because the Falcons are like just kind of seem to be rolling along, and they could step in it here maybe. So I like Seattle as well.
Yeah, they can afford to lose this game because if they win next week, they're in great shape. Seattle will blow out Atlanta.
Oh,
I hope you are correct.
oh.
Let's see. Kimmy Gingle says, so here's the one negative on Seattle outside of the Kenneth Walker stuff. Woolen and Trey Brown ruled out. Josh Joby and Fayon Hicks called them for the practice squad. So the top 2 corners for Seattle are out. And that gave me some pause for like a couple minutes. And then I kind of realized, like, wait a second, Seattle already sucks against the pass. So, like, what does it matter? Like, they're just replacing guys who can't cover the pass with guys who can cover the pass. I don't think it's a big deal. So, Seahawks have to turn the right tackle number 4. I mean, Atlanta doesn't have a bad pass rush though. They're third to last in pressure rate, so I don't think that means that much here. And so Kasach says, I don't even need Pop-Tarts to still disagree with every single take you two had on them. Frosted toasted period. Well, I'd love to know, like, what are your thoughts on Pop-Tarts here, Cassandra? Please. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Bills, Titans at Bills. So we had news here that Mason Rudolph is going to start for Will Levis. So if you already bet Will Levis anytime interception, you'll be getting your money back. So it'll be no action. So it's kind of sad that we don't get to have that. That was my bet here for the props, right? No. Okay, so it was Tony Pollard. I thought I bet that. I could have sworn I bet that. But anyway, Tony Pollard over 21.5 receiving yards. Tajay Spears is out. So I like Pollard to get most of the work. Buffalo's bad against pass-catching running backs. So I really don't have a strong take on this game. Like, I've been asked, like, did my opinion change on the Titans with Rudolph instead of Levis? And it doesn't really. Like Rudolph did well for the Steelers last year, but that was with a good team. Like, the Steelers were a playoff team. The Titans are obviously not a playoff team. So, like, I think they can't really carry, like, Rudolph, like, he can't be a game manager for them because he has to do stuff. Like, he has to win. Like, he has to, like, do some great things to be competitive with Buffalo. And, like, we saw Rudolph against Buffalo in the playoffs last year, and it wasn't pretty. Like, he did okay, but still, Buffalo still covered a high spread. So I think that could happen again. I'm going to be in Buffalo. What are your thoughts on this game?
I don't have much to add here. I guess I wouldn't touch this game, though. I don't think that I don't think there's really that much of a disadvantage, if any, to have Rudolph there over the way Levis has been, and I take no pleasure in saying that. I hope the man does well, but he's really looked bad at times out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like it's probably unlikely it can get worse. So, like, I don't think that hurts the Titans' chances, like, for those that might have liked the Titans, but I'm going to stay away from this one, but I'd probably take Buffalo.
Yeah, I think some people might view it as a positive, and it probably is, I guess. Like, Will Levis is more talented physically, but he's just an airhead when it comes to like reading defenses and, like, figuring out what's going on the field. Like, that's why he throws so many interceptions. He's thrown a pick in every single game this year. But like, Rudolph is going to be safer. But like I said, he's going to, like, if this were a game against a mediocre or bad team, I could see, like, okay, maybe he leads them to victory. But Buffalo is one of probably the top 10 teams in the league. So, like, he's going to have to do a lot more. And I just don't think he can do it. Although Ridley, well, as Stu says, Ridley might get the pass this one. That was crazy. He had 8 targets, no catches. First time since 2012.
Yeah. And like 9 rushing yards or something.
Yep, one of my DraftKings lineups, I played Ridley with Levis, and did not turn out well. They actually that lineup was close to cashing because the rest of the lineup was great. It was just those two, just kind of weighted down. Bills might blow out the Titans. Go ahead and quote me. Bills will blow out the Titans. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think that's like far fetched at all. Like the Bills are favored by 9.5, so I could definitely see that happening.
How many seasons wasn't it? It was 5 seasons ago when Mason Rudolph got bonked on the head by Myles Garrett, wasn't it? That was 2019, wasn't it?
I think I think you're right. Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow, that seems that was 5 years ago already. I'm pretty sure it was 2019.
Maybe.
That was already 5 years ago. Holy crap, man! Time goes fast.
Time definitely goes fast. Anyway, so Bengals Browns is next. The spread I believe is down to 5.5. Let me check just to make sure. But it was 6.5 earlier in the week. Now it is it's down to 5.5. It's gonna be hard to find a 6. I'm gonna try to do that after the show is over so I can lock it in. But I'm not confident we're gonna get a 6. But I like the Browns quite a bit here. They've owned the Bengals, and they are like, I'll say this, like Deshaun Watson played his best game last week. He was 11 of 11 to start the second half, and the Browns had both their tackles, so like hardly a coincidence. And yeah, it was an easy matchup, but Cincinnati's also an easy matchup. Like Cincinnati sucks defensively. They allowed a lot of big plays to outside receivers, so Jerry Jeudy could have a big game. And my prop is speaking of outside receivers, it's Jamar Chase over 78.5 receiving yards. So number one receivers have done well against the Browns, although the Browns are getting Juan Thornhill back from injury, which is huge. So any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Watson did have a good second half against the Eagles, but also that Eagles team is kind of, they're kind of a little bit of a mess right now. So I'm not putting like as much stock as I typically would in them covering that game last week. But they've looked bad for most of the year, and now they have no Amari Cooper. I don't know. Also the Bengals really need this game, as we all know. So I'm actually going to be. I'm probably not going to bet this one, but I'd be on the Bengals here.
Okay. As the late great Dave Koken once said, if the team needs the win, they're probably not good enough in the first place.
I know. You always say this. I want to take a chance. Yeah. You ever see that Simpsons? It's like, maybe the bridge collapsed on its own. Like, we can't take that chance. You always say that. I want to take a chance. I think I told you about that. For those old Simpsons fans.
I haven't watched Simpsons in so long. It's been so long. I used to watch it in high school all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever watched in the college. Like, I think that was it for me.
Yeah, no, same here. And that's what, like, you want to hear something crazy about that is I consider myself to be a huge fan of The Simpsons. Like, I know the first like 9 seasons, 10 seasons like the back of my hand. Like, I know them so well, but I haven't watched any since. And like, I have a lot of friends who are like classic Simpsons fans who we still like quote, send text quotes of like The Simpsons to each other. And like, I don't know anybody who still watches like the new Simpsons. I don't know anybody. Like, how? Like,
look, it might be for
I've never met one person.
It might be for ages like 12 to 18, and like that may be their demographic. Like, maybe it's like the teenagers watching this now.
Sure, but I also think that like at some point, I mean, it's been 20 years since I graduated high school, and I can't think of a single time anyone like I've heard like just in passing or like murmur or like, oh, I have a friend that watched. Like, I've never heard of anyone who like still like religiously watches The Simpsons. And like, for as popular as like, how is that possible? Like, you would feel like it has to be like, it's almost like it doesn't exist. I don't know. Let's not go down too far down this rabbit hole. But isn't that the strangest thing? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, if the younger crowd is watching it, you're not talking to the younger crowd. So is it maybe they are watching it? Although I don't know like how much young kids are watching TV these days with all the streaming stuff. I feel like there's just way too much available. Like, that's why ratings for everything are so down. It's because everything is so spread out. Like, before, you only had like 6 options, right? Like, at least when I was a kid, like, you had unless you had cable, like there was like CBS, Fox, ABC, NBC, PBS, and like like UPN. Like you only had like 6 options, and then like even when you had cable, there was limited options because like unless you had the premium channels, like where you can watch movies, like you can only watch a certain number of things. But now there's all these streaming devices and also cable too. But like yeah, and YouTube, like you could just go to YouTube and watch like some streamers stream, like or Twitch, and like there's just so much to watch that like everything's just so spread out. So like, it makes sense that like no one's watching that of because there's so much to watch.
Do you know anyone who still has like regular cable television?
This guy right here.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Of course I do.
I've been to your house. You have like an on demand or something.
What are you talking? We watched the Warriors Grizzlies game on Comcast. On my cable box.
That's considered cable.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Of course it is.
I don't know how all this works. Remember in the 90s, you ever remember those commercials that were like, "Oh, if you're stealing cable, like that's a crime." Like who is stealing cable?
My friend Mike had
don't out your friend for
there's a million people named Mike. I'm not outing anyone.
I've never heard that name before.
Yeah. There's my friend Abhishek.
The FBI's gonna hear this and investigate everyone named Mike for.
Well, no, they so he had all
stealing cable.
I'm just saying I don't know if he stole cable, but he had all the porn channels.
That sounds completely different.
So he had all the porn channels. So I don't think like he paid for them. I think like he had them like set up. I think his dad had them set up like without paying for them. Like he just slipped the guy at 20 or something, and he just got all the porn channels.
20.
Yeah.
What was the circumstances surrounding this transaction?
So anyway, we had so when we were in 7th grade, we had a sleepover at his house. And so he, like after his parents went to bed, he's like, guys, you take a load of this, and like he just like turn on the porn channels, and like we were like 12. I was like we were watching this stuff, and like the first porno I ever watched was there, and it was called Star Trek: The Making of the Next Generation. I was like, what is? I was like, I'm so confused as a 12-year-old. I was like, what is going on here?
Dude, what a time to be alive, huh?
Yeah, good old 1994. It's a great time.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah,
it's great. So there's no shortage of great stories on this show. What do we got? Oh, there's a +6 out there, Cassandra.
Yeah, I actually just while we were talking, I went through all my sports books to look. There is no 6 outside of Bookmaker +6 -115. So I will be locking that in after the show's over. Thank you, Cassandra, for pointing that out. The Bengals will blow out the Browns. Lion calling for all blowouts. I like it. I like the overreaction.
Yeah.
I hope it happens.
Yeah.
No 6s on my odds. Yeah. So yeah, Bookmaker is the only one that I see. Cassandra, I call Vito and he go give me the 6. The big might be pretty steep. You need to write a book about that. Yeah. Is that the porn about the porn? Or my friend Mike just stealing cable. Not stealing cable, stealing 4 channels, I should say, not stealing cable.
4. Oh yeah, okay. That's not as bad.
John says, I'm late now that Rudolph is starting. Put all your money on the Titans.
Oh, John likes the Titans. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm still neutral in the game. I'm not going to bet either side. I could see the case for the Titans, but the Titans are so beat up. Like they're down their top 2 cornerbacks. Although like the Bills coming off such a big win on Monday night, and also with Calvin Ridley joining the team, like I wonder how if they're going to be unfocused at all. So it's a rough spot for the Bills. But they're just so much better than the Titans too. Like the Tennessee's in such rough shape that I just can't. I've vowed not to bet bad teams unless they're playing other bad teams. So that violates my rule. I can't do it.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, yeah. Let's get to the next game. So Texans at your Packers. I'll let you handle all the analysis. I will start though with the player props, which I don't like at all. I have no player props for this game. I was thinking about Jaden Reed, but he has a bum ankle, may not be 100%. And then I was thinking about Dalton Schultz because the Packers are bad against tight ends, but the yards prop for Dalton Schultz's receiving yards is so high. Like the most yards he's had this year is 34, and he did that twice. And his yardage prop in this game is 39.5. I was like what? Like because I like his matchup. I'm like, this is way too high. So I'm not taking any player props here. So who do you like in this game?
Oh, I like Green Bay, and I like them a lot. And let me tell you something. Walt, I don't know if you want to bring up the Super Bowl odds, but I'm telling you right now, I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a pretty bold claim here, and I'm sure Mathiason's gonna love it. I think Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. Now, not everyone I think maybe sees it because that NFC North is so strong. Everyone is so good. I feel like they're kind of an afterthought in that conversation, especially because of Jordan Love's injury. Now, if he kind of re-injures his knee, and hopefully that doesn't happen, that would change things. But I really think that I can make the case that the Packers are the best team in the NFC right now, and it's just kind of hidden behind all the that entire division being so strong. So I also think that the Texans, while they're very good, I don't think they're as good as their record indicates. And you know what's funny? Do you remember? I think it was 2012. I think that the Texans started out like 5-0 or 6-0, and then Green Bay went down there on Sunday Night Football. And Rodgers had like 6 touchdown passes, 3 to Jordy Nelson, and they handed them their first loss. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
2012. Yeah, but that just like popped up on like my Facebook feed of like it was just like a clip of like vintage Rodgers moments, and like they showed like that whole game. So I really like Green Bay here. And it's interesting like. And I really like this team because they're deep. Like, what was it just a couple weeks ago? Like, it was like, oh, Dubs and Watson were out. And like, in my mind, like, I wasn't even, I mean, yeah, that sucks. I would like them to be healthy, but like, I wasn't worried, like, as a fan. And they still want, like, this team's deep. And they have an opportunistic defense. Like, this defense is like pretty exciting to watch. And it's the first, like, I can say that in a while as a Green Bay fan. Like, I think they're a really strong team. And I think I don't know what the odds are for them to win the Super Bowl because I haven't.
I can tell you right now.
Let's bring it up
because it's 20-1 because I bet it today. Now, sort of bet it because FanDuel they gave me a $50 bonus bet because I deposited, and I was like, anytime I get a bonus bet, I'm like, I just throw it on a Super Bowl team, and I'm like, let me look at the Super Bowl teams and find like the team with the best odds that I think has a great chance to win. And to me, I guess Bengals 30-1. You could say that, but I already bet them. So I was like, the next best odds were 20-1 on the Packers, and so I threw $50 free bonus bet on the Packers 20-1. So if they win $1,000, that sounds pretty good. So I do agree. I think they're a really good team. They're very well coached. Jordan Love is now healthy. They have a lot of good weapons. They pass protect well. Their defense is ranked 6th in EPA. I definitely think that the Packers are a great team. So
I think that. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Walter.
Good. I'm done. Go ahead.
I think Packers might be my favorite play tomorrow.
Okay.
I really like him because I think people are gonna. Yeah, I think this looks too easy for Houston too. I think the Packers could win in a romp here, maybe, possibly. And that's just because and again, I really like this Houston team, of course, but they're overrated. Their record isn't. They're not as good as their record indicates, in my opinion. So, and maybe people are still a little. I think while people still think Green Bay's strong, I feel like they're underrated a little bit. But it's just one idiot's opinion. I love the Packers here tomorrow.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean they're on our super contest card, so I hope you're right. I don't currently have a bet for them, but maybe I'll put something on it. The Texans are down a bunch of players on defense. Like no one who stands out. Like if you look at their injury report, you're gonna be like, I don't really see anything. But it's like 4 or 5 defensive starters are out. Like they're all like decent players, and so it could add up. And I like the Packers here. Like Jordan Love, like I said, healthy. So yeah, I do think it's the right side. Although John says Green Bay is the best team, the Vikings will go undefeated because the Bills have the 2nd round pick. So how it goes, I guess.
Right.
Backup QB bump for the Titans. John, let me ask you this: do you think the Bills have a top 12 defense? Like they're currently 14th in EPA defensively. Like if you think they have a top 12 defense, then it wouldn't be a QB bump; it would actually hurt. But if you don't, then you're right. So I kind of wonder like where you stand on Buffalo's defense. Anyway, Matt LaFleur gets these guys prepared if they stay healthy as possible. Yeah.
Wow,
So,
Matthias, and I'm surprised, and I'm surprised pleasantly to hear your support there, buddy.
Stone Papa Smurf says love Geno tomorrow in DK. Yeah, a lot of people do. Geno is like one of the top 3 projected owned quarterbacks on the slate. So yeah, it makes sense. It's a great matchup, but it could also be Kenneth Walker game. Like if the Seahawks go up, like it could just be Walker in the second half. Just keep that in mind. I might play him. I'm not sure which quarterback I'm going to go with. Like no one really stands out. There are like 5 or 6 like good options. Love being one of them. Like I'm considering Richardson. Like even on stacked, Richardson naked, just because there's no Jonathan Taylor, so you could do all the running. Considering Andy Dalton in comeback mode, I'm considering Jared Goff just because the Lions could be down a lot and they might have to throw a lot in the second half. Sam Darnold too, like the Lions have a pass funnel defense, and then you can't forget about Jane Daniels. Like even though he's the most expensive quarterback, like he's still amazing. But yeah, there's so many good options tomorrow, and like I view them like pretty evenly. So I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but I'll decide. And I'm talking like single entry. I always play like single entry. So, so it says the Packers have a look ahead game against the Jags. Of course,
yeah. Watch out.
Yeah, Sasha loves the Packers as well.
Okay, love to hear it, Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go take Diggs anytime touchdown. What do you think about that? I actually have I should note that I have 2 odds boosts for anytime touchdowns on FanDuel, so I'm going to have to bet 2 of them. And I think one, I was considering Barkley, but his vig is so high, so I might go elsewhere. What do you think about that?
Well, I hope not, because I want my Packers to win this game.
Well, it can still win. It could be, like it's second half garbage time or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do like it, but I hope the score is 35-0.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's not a bad play. Yeah.
John says, I think they do because they got Taron Johnson and Terrell Bernard back. Plus, we'll eventually get Von Miller and Matt Milano back. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Once Miller and Milano come back for sure. Like right now, though, like I wonder if you think so. It sounds like you do. So if the Bills have a top 12 defense, then like Rudolph's going to struggle, which I think it's pretty rough. Use your odds boost on Metcalf. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll do that. Like one is like max bet 25, one's max bet $50. So, and I think it's a 30% odds boost if I remember correctly. It's if you're on FanDuel, it's called the Gronk Spike, and there are 2 of them. So always look for your promotions on like FanDuel, DraftKings, Bet Rivers, Caesars, etc. BetMGM. Like they always have some good stuff there, and that's like one of the bonuses of having multiple sportsbook accounts is that you get all these odds boosts or bonus bets. So definitely check them out. By the way, on Bet Rivers right now, and this is not an ad for Bet Rivers, not sponsoring this, but like there's something cool. I actually told you this yesterday, Tom. They have these things called player prop packs, and like you can open a pack and you get 3 NBA cards, and you could basically enter them in. This is not like Rainmakers or anything like that. You can enter them in whenever a game is played. Like for example, if you have like LeBron James, the card will say if he scores 50 points, you get a $50 bonus bet. If he scores 40 points, you get a $25 bonus bet. If he scores 30 points, you get a 50% profit boost. If he scores 20 points, you get a 20% profit boost or something. And they have like 3 categories. They have gold, silver, and bronze. And like that would be a bronze card. Like the silver, like a $50 game would be like a $500 bonus bet, which I have in the pack. I got a silver Mike Connolly, which is like he's never gonna get 50 points, unfortunately. Like, but I got like a silver Mike Connolly, a gold LeBron, and like one other. I'm sorry, a bronze LeBron, and a bronze of someone else. I think it's some scrub. No, it's Gabe Vincent, I think. So they have these cards, and like you could just use them for each game. And I think it's so cool. It's like a really cool idea. Like you get to like root for the players even without betting on them because you get free bonuses. So check that out. I think it's a cool idea by Bet Rivers. Anyway, Kyron
for those
Williams,
of you in the applicable states.
Yeah, sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
Maybe you can still do the packs. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know because. But I guess your bonus bets won't matter because you can't bet it. But if you're ever out of state,
I'll go sit in the Trenton Thunder parking lot.
Yeah,
to do
that'd be very bizarre if you went all the way up there and did Georgia.
them.
Anyway,
What are we got here?
we had a suggestion about Kyron Williams. I'll put that on the screen. Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown. Let's see here. I went to rushing props, unfortunately. Anytime touchdown for Kyron Williams is he's minus 230. That's the problem there. It's the vig is too high, so even 30% doesn't do much for you. Soto just hit a 3-run home run the ninth. The Evil Emperor of 5-2 in the ninth. For those wondering, I assume that's the Yankees.
Yes.
And what's the series? Because
the Yankees are up 3-2 in the series.
Okay, because I know Evan, who's our Tuesday co-host, he has Game 7 tickets, and so he actually can't come on the show on Tuesday if they go to Game 7 because he's going to be at the game. It's kind of weird that Tuesday.
Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 3-1.
It's
the Yankees are 3-1, not 3-2. My apologies.
Okay, that makes more sense. So I mean that's that's why I was wondering about that because he said he can't come on if they go to Game 7, which I kind of want that for him and his kids. Like that'd be like a really cool experience for them. But it doesn't sound like that's gonna happen.
It's not looking too good here.
Yeah. Hey Diggs, how's it going? Hope you're right, Quacky. I have a money line parlay Packers with Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm anti-Atlanta here, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, I guess they could win money line and still Seattle cover, but
did they have a voter drop box at the Trenton Thunder parking lot? Well, I didn't look. Maybe they probably did, but I did not look. I just went there. I just did my picks and I went home. It was very quick. I wasn't there for more than 5 minutes, like anytime, unless there's one time where I screwed up my Excel and I had to have my editor send me a redone Excel for Rainmakers. But there is no Rainmakers anymore, so I will only be there once per year during draft week to bet the draft props because I can't do that here. So. Anyway, let's get to the next game. So we have Dolphins and Colts. The Dolphins were my backup in the Super Contest because the Seahawks had the Kenneth Walker stuff, and I just didn't know. I didn't know if there was like an illness floating around, so I wanted to be safe. I like the Dolphins. The Sharps took this down for 3.5 to 3. This Colts team is not good enough to be favored by 3 or more at home. Like they're just so bad defensively. Jonathan Taylor's out. They're missing some offensive line pieces. Like this team is just so banged up. It's hard to justify this line. So I like the Dolphins here. I have nothing for player props yet. I was hoping that Trey Sermon would be out, so I could bet Tyler Goodson over rushing yards, but that's not the case. So any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I like the Dolphins too. With Taylor out and then Richardson, if he's going to come back, I think he's probably going to be a little rusty, and he's really. I mean, I like him, but he's, still has a lot to prove. I don't know. It's like, you think they're going to win this game by 4 or more? I don't know that they're good enough. And while I do like the Jags this week, like this Colts team lost to the Jags. I don't know. I mean, I guess Miami almost did too, but no, I like the Dolphins here as well. So,
okay. Well, that's good. Glad we agree on that one. All right. Lions, Vikings, the big game of the week. So Vikings minus 1.5 here for player props. I went Sam Laporta over 41.5 receiving yards, and he's gone over that number in 3 of 5 games this year. Actually, 3 or 4 full games he's played because he left one game early. So I feel like the odds of him just in general are pretty good, going over 41.5 receiving yards. But the Vikings allow a lot of production to tight ends. In their previous game against the Jets in London, Tyler Conklin had a good game. That's like the one area in which they're weak, and they're going to be missing one of the top linebackers, Blake Cashman. So I like Laporta a lot. As far as this game is concerned, I'm still on the Vikings. I think the Lions coming off that huge blowout win where they were just like trolling the Cowboys, I think that could hurt them a little bit. Obviously, no Aiden Hutchinson is just brutal because the Lions weren't getting any pressure outside of Hutchinson, so he's gone. And it really takes someone special like him to crack through Minnesota's pass protection, which is elite. Like someone like Hutchinson could get to Darnold, but there's no Hutchinson anymore. So like Darnold should have all the time in the world to do well against this defense. And I like Darnold in DFS. You can play with Jefferson, Play it back with Laporta, for example. I think that's a good stack. So, but anyway, I'm on Minnesota, but I'm not in love with this game. The Lions are a public dog, so that plays into Minnesota's favor. So, what are your thoughts here?
Do you think the Lions will try to trade for Max Crosby?
I don't think the Raiders are trading Crosby. I heard Hassan Reddick potentially, but I don't know about Crosby. I don't think the Raiders are getting rid of him.
Yeah, I like the Lions here, but I'm not going to touch it, especially the Lions being a public dog. But I mean, even with Hutchinson out, I still think the Lions are a very good team. I don't know. I feel like this could be a spot where the Vikings, who I really think are a good team as well. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch this one. I feel like the Vikings could stumble here, but there's a lot of question marks with Hutchinson out. But I'll be on the Lions, but I won't bet it.
Okay. Sandra's saying I have a fantasy question tonight. I'll wait until we go through all of our games. Okay, yeah, I mean you can ask it anytime. Lions were up 31-6 when Hutchinson injury occurred. Why was this
Yeah,
so
really?
So yeah, I mean, I think that to prevent something like this, and you see this happen a lot, or just too often enough. I think the NFL should expand the 53-man active roster to like 58 or something, whatever the number is for practice squad, like 59, 60. Because like that way, if it's a blowout, you could just put in your backups, because sometimes you can't put in all backups. It's not possible just because there aren't enough roster spots. It would also fix the third quarterback situation, which like I know they have a rule for that too, but like now like teams could always carry 3 quarterbacks. It would fix the kicker situation, and punter. You can carry 2 kickers and punters. That way, kicker goes down, you're fine. Actually, like probably don't need to carry 2 punters, but still, like 2 kickers, like I feel like that's essential. We've seen that happen a couple of times where kickers have gone down. San Francisco against Arizona, and also the Giants against the Redskins. Like you see these kickers go down, and like they have no backup. Like I feel like this would solve that situation. So I'm in favor of expanding these rosters, not like to 90 players or like 60, 61, 62. I think you can do that. So anyway, and I agree, but I put the kicker in a defensive end at that point. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But the point is, if you have all these extra roster spots, you can just sub out Hutchinson pretty easily, Yeah.
Yeah.
Giants win if they had a kicker. Yep. I know.
Yeah, really.
That was one of our bad beats. Or my bad beat. I know. I had the Giants in that one.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay.
Speaking of those Giants.
Yeah. Last of the early games, it is the Eagles at the Giants. So Eitan and I have the Eagles on our card. He feels really strongly about the Eagles. I want to almost say bouncing back here. Like they're coming off a win, but it almost feels like they lost based on how down everyone is on the Eagles in Philadelphia. Everyone's like, what's wrong with the Eagles? I mean, they're 3-2, like there's not that much wrong with them. They are not playing up to their potential, but they're not a bad team either. It just feels like they're kind of floundering right now, but the Chiefs were as well last year. Like they lost to the Raiders on Christmas. They lost to the Packers Sunday Night Football. They lost to the Broncos. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. So it's a long season. They can get things right. They have the talent to do that. Right now, they're not playing well, but usually when the Eagles, when everyone criticizes them, that's when they play their best. Like you say that all the time. So I think the Eagles could have a good game here, and the Giants are not going to have Andrew Thomas, and they may not have they may not have Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence, who barely practiced this week. And so if they don't have those 2 guys, like that's huge. So just watch out for the inactives report before the game. I'll have updates on that Sunday morning. For the prop bet, I have Saquon Barkley over receiving yards, not rushing yards, receiving yards. The Giants allow a lot of yards through the air to running backs, and Barkley's gone over 14.5 receiving yards in 3 of the 5 games this year. So I think he could do that again in a revenge spot. So what are your thoughts here?
I've gone back and forth on this game. The Eagles seem like there's a lot of drama going on. That was kind of funny, Sirianni yelling at that fan, but
yeah.
But I don't know, like you said, I don't know what it is with Philly sports teams, especially. I mean, I'm sure all fan bases have their own version of this, but it's like when everything's down on them, like that's when they do the best, when all the chips are down. I don't know that I would consider this a situation where all the chips are down, though. I mean, certainly they've fallen below expectations, thus far through the season, I would say for most Philadelphia, in the eyes of most Philadelphia fans and myself too. But I with like you think they're still a pretty good team. I don't know. I think Barkley could have a pretty good game here. Maybe there's a revenge factor coming into play there a little bit. But at the same time, like the Giants, I mean, I guess I could also make the argument that the Giants are a little bit better than their record indicates. I mean, they only lost to Washington by 3. I mean, the Cowboys aren't good. They kept that game close, but they were pretty much in that, kept it close against that in that Bengals game just this past week, and they beat the Seahawks and the Browns. Not that those are, any sort of statement wins or of any kind. But so I guess that would be my argument for the Giants. I'm probably not going to touch this one, but I think the Eagles. I think the most likely scenario here is that the Eagles win pretty easily. So I would take them, but I won't bet it.
Okay, fair enough. Yankees won. At least Cleveland has the Browns. Was that were they playing the Indians? Is that what they playing?
Yeah, they were playing the Cleveland Parent and/or Guardians.
That's right. They changed their name. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Cleveland Football Club.
Football Club, right? They should have really won spiders. Such a cool logo. If they're going to change, I mean, Indians is iconic. I wouldn't change that. If they were going to change it, I think the spider with the C in the middle. It's just such a cool logo. So, hey, Walter, you think the Giants would be motivated to thwart Saquon Barkley return to MetLife? Well, I think they should be motivated to just win. Like they're 2-4. Like they lose this game. Like playoffs are probably just good riddance to that idea. So, and it's a big rivalry. Everyone says like Eagles Cowboys is the biggest rivalry in the NFC East. It's not true. Like Eagles Giants, I think it's the biggest rivalry between those teams. And I think like Eagles fans versus Cowboys fans, I think that's a big rivalry between the fan bases. But the Eagles and Giants hate each other a lot. Like, and if look at like the Eagles spread record before playing the Giants, it's so bad. They always look forward to these games. So I both teams are going to be motivated, like Saquon or not. But they will try to stop Saquon, but I don't know how much success they'll have if Lawrence is out. You mean Barkley pass touchdown? I would love to. Receiving touchdown, not pass touchdown, but it maybe pass touchdown too. Hey, Walter and Quacky, do you think the Mets will make a comeback and tie the series up at 3 against the Dodgers? This is all you, Tom. I didn't even know the Mets were in the playoffs. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's 3-2 Dodgers now in that series. I hope they do. I mean, I feel like people are going to want Dodgers and Yankees, but if we had a repeat of the Subway Series, that would be neat too. And it's funny because near the end of the regular season, I was like, wow, like the Mets are coming on pretty strong here. I almost bet them to win the World Series. I thought they had a shot to make a run similar to what they're making now, but I don't know. This also, to me, like kind of has all like the writings on the wall of like an upstart, like kind of Mets team. Well, I don't know if I'd call them upstart. They have the talent, but they've failed to come through the past couple seasons until now, where they're finally reaching expectations. Kind of late in the game with their roster. But this has like the writings on the wall. Like this has all the makings to me of like the stronger team is going to prevail. And I think the stronger team is the Dodgers. And I think Ohtani versus Judge is going to be a sexier, for those that believe in the script, is a sexier play here for baseball. So to boost its popularity. So take that for what it's worth. I hope the Mets come back. That would be cool. I'd rather see a Subway Series. I don't really like the Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers probably will prevail. Whether it's in 6 and 7, I'm not sure.
If it's Yankees and Mets, they should not call it Subway Series. They did that already. They should call it the COVID infested nursing home series.
That'll play well with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely will. Sue says Cleveland deserved to lose for being woke, dropping the Indians. Yes, yeah, I would absolutely root against them all the time. They, like that is disgraceful that they dropped the Indians like that. Just so racist against the Native Americans. Cam McEagle says I spaced and missed the Panthers Commanders discussion. Well, we haven't got to that yet. Stephen parlay Hubbard anytime touchdown and over 70 yards rushing with the Commanders over 30 points. 70. I mean, that's negative correlation, which actually bumps up your vig, as I've noticed. I could actually show you guys. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I think it's pretty remarkable. We'll do it after the picks, like the the singing parlay stuff. But anyway, so the problem there is like if the Redskins score 30 points, then Hubbard may not be able to run a lot. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a shootout back and forth. But like, what are the chances of that? I don't know. So if you, I think Hubbard anytime touchdown plus receiving yards and Redskins over 30, I think that makes the most sense to me. So yeah, I'll show you guys this trick for same-game parlays. I think it's kind of neat. Anyway, hope it's all pretty loose here tonight. How's the feel? What's the vibe?
Loose on the goose, yeah.
Loose goose, yeah. Hey Walter, the girl in the video about Giants Eagles is on your page. Is Suikana, a female rapper? I'll take your word for it. I've never heard of that, but
yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, no, she had that video. She had that video with the one girl. Did you ever see this video with her?
Yeah, I have the magician or the musician.
Yeah. So funny. Plus 395. Okay. Yeah. I'll show you guys that singing parlay thing. Jets win easy. Russ is not the answer.
Ooh,
I hope you're right. Bills and Redskins, 2 teams, 6-point teaser, both favored by 8.5 points. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, and they're both at different times. Yeah, it makes sense. I personally would rather tease up from 1.5 or 2.5 to 7.5 or 8.5, but it always feels like one of these big favorites loses. I don't think it's gonna be the Redskins. So, and yeah, I guess maybe not the Bills either. So I think you're probably safe there. It's just like these 7.5 to 8.5 teaser these favorites. Like the Vegas gets burned a lot if these teams win, because everyone bets those teasers. So it's such a public teaser. I'd probably go elsewhere. I think you can put one of those in it and just try your luck with something else. But yeah, if you want to do that, I have nothing bad to say about that teaser. So
I'm with you.
When was the last time the Red Rifles in a shootout? I don't know.
The Red Rider BB gun.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, huh? I don't. Even in his heyday, he wasn't in a lot of shootouts. He was the game manager for the Bengals. Anyway,
the Red Rifle.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. He's still starting. It's been so long.
Yeah, it really has.
That was a same draft class as
Cam Newton.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Like Cam Newton's out of the league and Andy Dalton's still in. It's just wild, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. All right. So late afternoon, we have Raiders and Rams. There was some sharp money that dropped this to 6.5, but then looks like other sharp money took the 7. So the sharps are split on this one. I still like the Raiders. Their injury report is not like great. There's no Jacoby Myers. There's no Dylan Parham, which Parham's the big one there because he's been their best offensive lineman this year outside of Colton Miller. So not having him just not ideal. But the Rams defense is so bad. It feels like the Raiders should be able to score. Brock Bowers is going to have a great game. I have his over receiving yards prop. It's 61.5. He's hit 71 at least 3 times this year. So 61.5 seems very doable against this Rams defense that can't tackle at all or defend the middle of the field. So I think this is going to be a close game. The Rams, by the way, have the Vikings in 4 days, so they could be looking ahead to that. Anytime you get a big favorite ahead of a Thursday game, just fade. So the Raiders are the way to go, I think, despite how they played recently. But I think that helps them. They got blown out 2 weeks in a row. Like teams that get blown out like consecutive games, I like backing them because they're eventually going to bounce back. These are professionals. Like they get embarrassed. I think they're going to try their hardest here. And Devontae Adams being traded, I think is is a big lift off the shoulders. They kind of know where they're going with that. It's no longer a distraction. So, and it's not like he was playing anyway. So I think that could help him. So what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm on board with the Raiders too. I pretty much I agree with everything you said, everything you gentlemen stated. No, but the Rams don't deserve to be favored by this much. I'm surprised to see the public on them like that. Actually,
well, I think people are just fading the Raiders, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I guess just like, why do you think that is? Like, do you think that's because of the Devontae Adams trade? Like, he said he wasn't playing anyway. But I mean, and they do have their share of injuries, sure, but
yeah. Well, the Raiders have gotten blown out 2 weeks in a row. But they played
that game against Pittsburgh. I contend it was close, a little bit closer, like through like the first 3 quarters.
Oh yeah, I agree. But so they played. They've lost. Maybe not blown out. They've lost by double digits 2 weeks in a row, right? Against the Broncos and Steelers. Those teams are rated very highly defensively. The Broncos are heading into the week at least. The Broncos were 3rd in defensive EPA. The Steelers it says 15th. That can't be right. I mean, the Steelers are they still have a good defense. So this by far is their easiest defensive matchup in a long time. So their previous opponents, this said Steelers, Broncos. Before that, the Browns. So 3 weeks in a row, they played some very tough defenses, and now they get the Rams. Should be a lot easier for them to score. And that's been their issue. Like they haven't been able to move the ball, and like they're going to be able to do that in this game. So
yeah.
I think Sam says I think the Rams defense will stop the Raiders. The Rams defense has not stopped anyone this year. Like they allowed DeAndre Swift to look like Gale Sayers. Like it was so gross. So yeah, I just don't see it. Sue says I see the $5 meals. Apparently, the McDonald's breakfast time restricted execs are unaware you have labeled their burgers as rat burgers. Yeah, that is so funny.
You're sleeping with the enemy.
Exactly.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good strategy, right? Like, I'm sure they don't know, but even if they did,
right.
like if they knew that it called their burgers rat burgers, and I've been on them on Twitter for like, you guys, I was like, you guys haven't been able to figure out how to extend breakfast past 10:30 a.m. Like, I've been very critical of McDonald's, and like even if they knew that, I think it's a good strategy to advertise McDonald's because I'm like anti McDonald's, but yet I'm promoting McDonald's at the same time. So you're kind of like neutralizing it,
I'm with it. I'm with it. It draws attention to it,
Yeah.
I'm pro McDonald's.
I love McDonald's breakfast. So good. The rest of the meals.
They used to have it all day.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the employees love that. It sounds like it sucks.
They used to have it till 11, and now it's only till 10:30, which I think is so bizarre. And I'm never up that early anyway, so I never get to eat McDonald's breakfast. Not that I want to all the time, but it's like once in a while. Like,
next time I'm up there, I'll bring you an egg McMuffin, man.
I appreciate it.
I'll surprise you. I'll get there at 10:25. I'll go through the drive-through. I'll get it, and then I'll come to your house, and you'll just be waking up. It's like, hey, man.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I actually wonder what would happen if you ordered on the app, like to pick up at like 10:25, but you get there at noon. Like, would they still have it for you?
Well, I mean, it would probably be sitting there on the counter for a while, like bagged
fine.
up. They probably made it. Well, okay.
Well, you're the one who said you like to eat food cold, so.
Well, temperatures aren't that important. The food temperature isn't that important to me. Like, I'm not gonna. Yeah. It's not gonna change like me liking the meal or not that much.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be the temperature it's supposed to be, but I'm not gonna like. I would never like send it back.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I'm a slob. I'll eat anything except for seafood. I don't do seafood.
I love fried shrimp. I love fried shrimp so much.
I used to eat some shrimp, but then like I started thinking about it, and I just couldn't do it anymore. It's like a mental thing. I just tell everybody I'm allergic.
Okay.
Because you don't like seafood? Everyone says that to me, and it's like I'm allergic. And then only one person has asked me like what happens, like, and I was like, oh crap! And I just said I start vomiting everywhere. That's what I told him. There's no because there's no more follow-up questions when you say something like that. Okay. I don't want to answer any more questions about why I don't like seafood. I don't like it. That's final. Quit asking me. Lobster. That's what everyone says. Not even lobster. I can't do it. Oh, it smells, man. It smells bad. And people say, oh, well, if it's good seafood, it's not supposed to smell bad. I never smelled any seafood that didn't smell anything but bad. I hate it. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I do the same thing with mustard and onions. I hate those two things, and also mayonnaise. And like
I hate mayonnaise too.
I think it's so gross. And like whenever I order a sandwich or something, and it's not on the touchscreen, I'd be like please no mayo or mustard. I'm allergic. And so they pay extra attention to it. So like they don't get in trouble. Like I just want a plain, but like it does.
That's how bad. You want. It
doesn't just like vomit, like nausea, So for me, and then onions, I used to not mind onions, I visited Charlie Campbell in Florida. This is a long time ago. This is 2014. We ate at this place. I think it was called like the Salad Bowl or something. They basically can make a salad out of anything. Like you have like a cheeseburger salad, for example, like or pizza salad. Like they even anything out of a salad, right? And so I had whatever, I can't remember what I had, but I had something that had a lot of onions in it. And it was just like, I don't know, it's just weird. And then that night, the hotel, I was sleeping, and like I had a dream or nightmare that I was just eating a bowl of nothing but onions. It's just like, and I woke up and I had to throw up. I like ran to the bathroom and just vomited. And ever since that dream, like I can't eat onions. I just can't do it anymore.
Oh my
Like,
God, that's quite a story.
Yeah, it's not allergies. I just like it's I don't know.
I feel that way about mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Because like okay, there was this past Super Bowl, there was a commercial. I think it was Kristen Wiig or someone. I think it was Kristen Wiig. She was doing like a mayonnaise ad, and she was eating it like out of the. I had to leave the room. I almost threw up watching that.
Yeah,
that's freaking disgusting. Like mayonnaise, like it makes me so nauseous.
I don't get how people put that stuff on sandwiches. It's so gross.
Yeah, like there are some like if there's a little bit on a burger, like I can deal with it. But like
I can't deal with any of it. Like,
but I take it off of everything now. I used to like maybe not mind it on a couple things, but like it's freaking horrible. Oh, like on a submarine sandwich too. Ugh. It makes me nauseous.
I don't get why that's like like if you go to Wendy's or something or McDonald's, like that's like it's the standard to get.
Yeah, why?
They'll put it automatically. They'll put mustard on it automatically, ketchup, which is fine, whatever. Like they'll put mustard, mayo, and on all the sandwiches. It's like why? Like you should be able, like you should have to ask for that. Like can you? I
agree.
Add mayo, add mustard. Like it should be plain automatically.
Yeah,
because the stuff's so gross. I don't get it.
I remember one time this was just an oversight by me. This was many years ago. I ordered Firehouse subs online for like on Uber Eats, and I always remember to do this. And this one time I just forgot. I ordered a couple of sandwiches and I forgot to ask them to take the mayo off. And I was like, "Fuck, man! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean." But
we're demoted, guys. We lost 25 cents that we're gonna.
Sorry, Walter.
Actually, I don't think they care. It's like as long as it's not like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know that should speak volumes about how strongly I feel about the mayonnaise situation.
Yeah. I truly despise it. I don't get it. And like if there's mayo on something, I won't eat it. I'll just like I'd rather be hungry than eat it.
Yeah. Me too.
Cassandra agreeing, mayo is disgusting. Yeah, what like who made mayo this thing? Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Some people like it, sure, but I don't know. John says I've eaten mayo out of the jar before. Mustards and pickles I can't handle. I love pickles. I love pickles.
I love pickles as well.
I should say one of our friends, this guy Spencer, he owns this pickle company in Philly, and I buy pickles from him. He has like a stand at the gym, and you just buy pickles and jerky from him. And actually, he sells T-shirts because it's like I'll have to wear it. But it's like pickles and jerky make snacks great again or something. It looks like it's pretty cool. He's a good guy. So I gave him a shout out on the site, like a link to his store, so you can buy pickles. Actually, he has these like Thai pickles. They're like super spicy, but they're really good because actually he went to Thailand for them. And
oh, nice! I'd like to try that.
They're really good.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, would you trade Ayuk, Puka, and ETN for Lamb and DJ Moore? Well, Puka's not playing. ETN is a bum. So you're basically trading Ayuk for Lamb and DJ Moore. I'd take Lamb and DJ Moore all day.
Yeah, same day, same thing.
Yeah,
same here.
Hey, Walter and Quacky, have y'all eaten sandwiches at Jersey Mike's? Yeah, we have a Jersey Mike's right near us. I'll say like there's good and bad to Jersey Mike's. The good is that I like that the sandwiches are super long and they taste good. The bad is that like they don't have much selection. Like they had like standard like cold cuts and cheese and whatnot, and you can get cheesesteak too. They don't have like a meatball and cheese. They don't have like a chicken parm like sandwich. I wish they had more options. Like that's the one downside I would say I don't like about Jersey Mike's. But I don't know. Any thoughts there?
I've only been there a couple of times. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I'll eat anything though too, except for seafood and mayonnaise. Yeah, I've been a couple times. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Cassandra, I've been talking to myself about putting Eunice on the Jags. Maybe this discussion about how terrible Mayo's son and Eunice, right? It is. There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm gonna load up on the Jags now as a result.
Yeah.
I can't stand. Oh, one time I was eating. Like you're at the airport and you get like those sandwiches and like like they have it's called like Newport News or whatever, those places at the airport, and they have like everything from magazines to electronics to snacks and and I got a sandwich from the like these prepackaged sandwiches. And I was eating like this is so strange. Like, and this is how I know it's mental. Like with the mayonnaise, like I ate like half of the sandwich, and then as I bit it and took the first bite in the second half, I realized there was mayonnaise on it, and it wasn't until I realized it. Like I almost threw up.
Yeah,
I threw it away. Like I actually like stayed by the trash can. I was like close to retching. Isn't like that's how I know it's mental though, because like I ate the whole first half not noticing. Yeah. It's weird. There's something wrong with me, is what it's.
Well, it's the same thing with me with onions. Like if there's something of onions in it, and I don't sense it, I'm fine. But like it's a mental block for me, just because that dream I had. Do they like mayo in Russia? Well, yeah. Let me tell you about Russian potato salad. It's all mayo and vegetables. I like. It may not be for you if you don't like mayo.
Yeah, and I don't.
John, 311 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Really appreciate it. Cup or Pickens PPR. So obviously Cup has to play. So you'll know that by kickoff. Pickens plays later, so not an issue. If Cup's in there, I like Cup because Pickens is going to be matched up with Sauce Gardner, and it's not a good thing. And like, do you really want to trust Russell Wilson? I think like if Kupp is healthy enough to be back, like they're gonna throw the ball to him. I don't see him being limited. Like if he's still banged up and he's gonna be limited, I think they just hold him out a week. So obviously you're gonna know if he's gonna play by around 3:00. So if he plays, I'll play Kupp. And obviously if he doesn't, then you have to pay Pickens. But yeah, so I go Kupp over Pickens. The other question: blue cheese on ranch or with ranch with wings. Oh, okay, blue cheese or ranch. I think blue cheese. I like blue cheese a lot. I'm a big blue cheese guy. I love ranch too, but I'd rather have blue cheese with wings.
Yeah, me too. I'll do either though. But like when I was a kid, I only liked ranch and I hated blue cheese. And then later, I went the other way, where I like blue cheese more. But I'll do either. In fact, I'll do one of each.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thanks, John, for the super chat.
Appreciate it, John.
Ron says Thailand's pretty loose.
Oh, loose on the goose, yeah.
Well, not really, because actually they have these laws. If you say anything bad about the king of Thailand, you get thrown in prison. Like it could be anything. So I actually told that to my friend. I'm like, not that you're planning on doing this, but like, don't tell any of the locals. Like, the king is fat. For example, like making a joke. Like they'll throw you in prison for that. You can't say anything bad about the king. So
I'm glad you told me. I've got my tickets for Friday night.
But just me saying this, if I land in Thailand, if someone in the government like watched the show, they would arrest me on the spot. So I will not be going to Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's
you're banned. You're banned. Yeah, you can't.
It's legit. Like you can't say it. It's different rules in different countries. You can't.
Yeah. So let me take this opportunity to go on the record that I never said anything negative about the King of Thailand.
All hail King Thailand.
Yeah. I'm not against it. I'm don't hurt me or anything.
Right. Jersey Mike's. There's like the King's Chancellor's like watching the show. Like,
yeah, they're just like, it's like, are you watching these two idiots?
They besmirched His Majesty. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's like, oh wait, all is forgiven. They clarified. They can come back. They can come back and do the show here.
Right. Look at an invitation to do the show live, and like they'll throw us in prison. Anyway. Jersey Mike's the name of his sandwiches, like the Meadowlands, the
Trento. The Jersey Swamp. I think I've only had the cheesesteaks there. I've only been like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, we have it quite often because it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So, it's pretty good. Like like I said, the size of them is like super long. It's you get like good bang for your buck. and it tastes good. Like I said, I wish they had more options. Like any of these 4 would be nice. You know, I don't even know what they would be, or maybe throw in the Trent Thunder baseball stadium sandwich too. But like have some like meatball cheese. Like how do you not have meatball cheese? Like I feel like every place is meatball cheese. Like
oh, you're a meatball sub man.
I love meatball cheese,
really,
especially from Wawa. Meatball and cheese from Wawa is so good.
I mean, I like it, but it would never be my first choice.
It is at Wawa. It's my first choice.
Really,
it's so good at Wawa.
Maybe I'll order one now.
Oh yeah, Wawa down there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, when I first moved down here like 10 years ago, they started popping up, and now they're everywhere down here. Everywhere.
Oh yeah, try it. Meatball cheese.
Oh, I've had it before. Make
sure you get you have to get American cheese, not provolone, and you have to get parm cheese on top of it. So trust me, I'm an expert here. We spell it blue cheese here.
Yeah. Oh, very fancy. Yeah, we got the meatball master here in the house.
Yeah. While we're discussing this, last Jags minus 5.5 disappeared. Did it really? Because they're listening to the show here. I'm seeing some 6.5s now. Wow.
Wow. Oh, you know what? They're probably watching this in Thailand right now, and they heard, and they were like, "Quick, throw down a bet on the Jags."
Yeah, it got steamed up. Yeah, I'm not.
Wow.
It's
definitely because of me.
I'm still logged into these sports books, and I'm not. BetMGM. I hate BetMGM logs you out like after 2 seconds. BetMGM.
Every like 7.5 seconds.
BetMGM has minus 110 right now. I'm gonna bet that now. I'm betting this live. So lock in Jaguars minus 6, minus 110 at BetMGM. I have just bet that right now.
Let me look here.
Yeah.
They're minus 6.5, minus 110 here on the Hard Rock.
Minus 6, minus 110. Is that what you said?
Minus 6.5, minus 110.
Yeah, you don't have any options in Florida. I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't. I'm looking at Schefter's the Twitter.
Minus 6 is minus 120. Sorry.
You don't want to really pay minus 120 for minus 6. I think minus 6.5, minus 110 is the way to go. If you don't have any options, but yeah, if you can bet BetMGM minus 6, minus 110 right now is what you can get. So I just bet that. I didn't look anywhere else. I probably should have. I just kind of wanted to jump in on it. Looks like Bet Rivers also minus 6, minus 110. Let me reload. Bet Rivers also has minus 6, minus 110. So that's another place where you can bet it. Let me see, because the other books don't have that anymore. FanDuel's moved to minus 6.5, minus 115. That is pretty drastic. And DraftKings is minus 6.5, minus 112. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, there's clearly sharp money moving this. This is not, the public doesn't move lines like this. Let me check. ESPN Bet's the last one I haven't checked yet. Which I seldom use, but sometimes I use it.
Nice use of seldom.
Thank you.
Did you say seldom use or sell the news?
I seldom. SELDOM. No, ESPN Bet has minus 6.5. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like BetMGM and Bet Rivers are your only choices for minus 6, minus 110. And if you go on Bet Rivers, you can get a free pack of basketball cards that you can use.
Nice.
So, like I said, that was, again, they're not sponsoring this. I thought that was a really cool idea. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if May got hurt. Something happened. Like there has to be something that like at midnight, like someone's betting this up. Like it could be that a syndicate just decided to bet Jaguars minus 6. I'll say this, that our Spencer Rattler play on Thursday was a syndicate play. I got word from someone that Spencer Rattler under was getting bet heavily and actually moved from like 185.5 to minus 1 to 181.5 at some books, but like BetMGM still had it. I guess BetMGM's like super slow at changing their odds, which is a good thing. It's nice to have a slow book like that. So yeah, like I said, BetMGM, Bet Rivers. All right, let's get to the next game. We've been on this one for a while, so let's we have Panthers at the Redskins. This one got juiced up as well. It moved from 8 to 9.5. I think based on the news for the Panthers, Deontay Johnson barely practiced, but Schefter just tweeted tonight that he's going to play. The Panthers are also missing some other key players. So this guy Claudine Charles like came out of nowhere. Like he replaced one of the linebackers. Like both their linebackers are out, and like he actually played well, but now he's out too. So they're missing so much here. I like Terry McLaurin over receiving yards, 63.5. He's had some monster games this year, and the Panthers are really bad against outside receivers. So I'm kind of torn on this one. This line's high. I feel like the Redskins can blow out the Panthers, but are they going to be flat after that Baltimore game? I think that could be possible. So I'm still leaning toward Washington. What do you think about this one?
Well, Carolina's blacklisted, but I'm actually thinking about taking them. And here's why. I wonder if Jaden Daniels might be looking ahead here against next week's game against the Bears. There's going to be a little tension there, a little rivalry, but playing Caleb Williams, the number 1 and the number 2 picks respectively. So I wonder if that weighs in here at all, sort of thing where like this is going to be like an easy win for them, where it could be like a 7-point game sort of thing. But, if I take it, it'll be the last time I take Carolina. They've just haven't seemed to work very well for me this year. I haven't read them very well this year. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that the next week. Like I'm sure he's got that circled on his calendar for whatever reason, just if he wants to prove that he's the better quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like obviously like they're both going to be candidates for Rookie of the Year. That could be a big game. And they've got this easy game like in between, coming off a game where they put everything into it against a very strong opponent in Baltimore. So I don't know. I feel like this could be a spot where they, it could be a little bit of a letdown spot potentially. But I've said that before in these Carolina games, and then Carolina loses by like 24. So, but I think I do have some interest in betting Carolina. But we'll see. We'll see how much I go. But I guess I would take him here.
It's the craziest thing about the Panthers. They are dead last in pressure rate, which is not crazy because they lost so much talent. The crazy thing is that they blitz at the 5th highest rate in the NFL. So they're sending extra pass rushers at the 5th highest rate in the league, and yet they're still dead last in pressure rate. Like, think about how pathetic that is. Like, at what point you just like not send anyone, just not drop everyone back. Send one guy,
Yeah.
Sending coverage. I don't. Whatever they're doing is not working at all. So just have to try something different here. Jimmy Gill says 2 East Coast teams, Washington, Carolina at 4. Why not Seahawks, Atlanta? At least one of the teams, the West Coast. Yeah, I don't know. It's like logic escapes the NFL sometimes. Like Goodell said, there should be an international Super Bowl. It's not like the super smart guy leading this league. I think that this league tends to make a lot of mistakes. Could be a lot better, but we still love it. So, we can complain. We're going to complain about it. We're still going to watch. So
yeah.
Ron says, "Look, Panthers could win this in a low-scoring affair, 20-17.
Wow.
That would be unexpected, but crazier things have happened. Panthers won't go hard until next week versus the Broncos. There we go. They're gonna try to thwart Bo Nix.
No way. Nix has that game, man.
You think so?
Absolutely.
What do you think the advanced spread is on that game? Is Panthers at Broncos?
I'm gonna say Broncos -4.
You're pretty close. -4.5.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's pretty. Okay. I get partial credit for that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Guess.
Yeah.
Broncos, baby.
The King of Thailand dipped in the treasury of the Jags. There you go. We know he's listening now. We definitely cannot go to Thailand. What would be right away?
No. I was like we said, we only said good things.
Well, you said good things. I said bad things. I would be, as soon as I got off the plane, I'd be like, "Sir,"
I'll defend your honor. In
their language, you're like, "Sir, please come with us," and be like, "Don't see me again."
I'll lobby for you to get out. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. They're not gonna listen. They don't care. Like these foreign countries don't care. Like what?
I know. Oh, I used to watch that show, Locked Up Abroad.
I didn't know that was the thing.
Oh, it's like a reality show. Like it's several different episodes, like one of those series that you might see on like I don't know TLC, not like ID Network, but like these people they get like go to prison for like whatever reason in another country, and like they talk about like it's like not that any prison is good, but how it's like, you know, it's so different. The conditions are just it's really frightening. It kind of makes you scared to like.
I would, dude, I would never leave this country. Only went to Bermuda, for my honeymoon. That was it. Like I don't even want to go to Canada. Like given what they did during COVID, like no way. So I got like people literally die trying to come to America. Like I'm not trying to leave, you know.
Right.
Anyway,
I'm with it.
So John says I don't get the Panthers lose DJ Moore to draft Bryce Young, trade Brian Burns for what reason exactly? And they could have traded Brian Burns for 2 first rounders, and they rejected that trade, and then they traded him for a second rounder. It's like not the smartest by the Panthers. They are quite stupid, and their owner, the coach. I've said this a million times. The coaches and the GM all wanted CJ Stroud. And maybe it wasn't consensus, but like from what I heard, they were like when they traded for the top pick, they all thought they thought that they were going to get CJ Stroud, and they were excited. Like believe me, and then they were told a few days later that it was going to be Bryce Young, and they were not as excited anymore.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, it's bad, horrible ownership by Axe Tepper. But the fool. Like he's based on the main character from Billions, but the main character from Billions it seems like a lot smarter than this Axe Tepper guy who just I don't know. He made all of his money on during the crash and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, Walter Quacky, why is it that the women's college basketball has higher ratings than the men's college basketball? I highly doubt that's true. I can't believe that's true.
I don't. I mean, I've never seen the stats. Look at his picture there, and look at my head. Like I look like I'm the head on the picture there. You see that? That's kind of funny.
See, I love that.
If that's really true, there, Stanley, then I guess assuming that that's true, I'd be surprised to hear that. It's probably because the college basketball product isn't what it used to be, and especially because like the players don't stay anymore, and I guess maybe with the resurgence of Caitlin Clark, or not research, the everything surrounding Caitlin Clark, she revolutionized the women's game, so I could see that, and people wanted to watch it. So if that's true, that would be my guess as to why. But
yeah, maybe they got a bump with Clark, but she's not in college basketball anymore, so you're not going to see that bump this year. I saw this morning an article that said like the WNBA lost $4 million this year, and that investors were not very happy. And I think mostly with their treatment of Caitlin Clark, whereas the players were not very enthused with her, and it seems like the league didn't feature her enough. I don't know. Not that I know. I don't watch any games, but not that I plan on watching any games, but
I don't know about that. Like they were breaking like attendance records all the time.
They still lost $4 million, so like it clearly wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, I haven't looked into it at all, so I don't know how much they lost or what. But
hey, speaking of WNBA, was Brittany Griner featured on that show that you were watching, Locked Up Overseas or whatever? It's like an honest question.
No, that show was made like long before that happened.
Okay, all right. Well, now we know. I thought maybe that was like
no. I mean, I'm sure they made like some level of like document. I think they did, didn't they? I'm sure they will if they haven't on that whole thing. Yeah,
I guess.
But I don't know. Anyhow,
yeah.
So I'll go Carolina. If they don't come through, they're blacklisted rest of the year.
Okay. He's confirmed massive sharp action on the Jaguars. Yeah, I wonder why. Why now? But I'm happy to hear it because I got him at 6 here. I hope you guys did as well. And I have him in the Super Contest at -5.5, and we do as well too. So happy to hear that. It's the beginning of a new mini contest this week. So we go 14-1 in the next 3 weeks. We can win a lot of money. Even like 13-2 might we probably chop some money there. Still would be a good payout. Even Canada's dangerous for Trudeau. Yeah, he froze their gambling accounts. A real douchebag. He froze the bank accounts, I think you mean. Like he froze the bank accounts of the protesters. Yeah, Trudeau is a real scumbag for sure. I'm going to jump on. Over the past 16 years, the Jaguars are the most poorly handicapped team, and it's not close. Yeah, well, I mean, at least maybe we'll have some clarity with them in the second London game because it seems like a great spot. I don't know. I think the word you were thinking of was emergence of Caitlin.
You're right. I was just like completely blanking. You know, I say like a million words a day because I'm always talking. So like some of them are bound to be wrong or like for me to draw a blank. But yes, emergence was the word. I appreciate that, G Chuck. If we're just like draw a blank, like that's the worst. Like it's happened to me like on streams and stuff, or like even on here a few times as like where I can't think of like a very simple word.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what's happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it usually happens like when I'm tired, I won't be able to think of like the word
for
which
sure.
is like all the time. Because,
yeah, the resurgence and the emergence.
Yes. All right. Last of the late afternoon games, the Chiefs at the 49ers. I don't have a good take on this game. Like if you bet the Niners, you're avoiding this public action on the Chiefs, heavy public action. But if you also take the Niners, you have to deal with Patrick Mahomes. Like you need him to lose this game to win this bet. And but as you guys might know, Patrick Mahomes is pretty good at winning football games. So I don't want to bet this one. Outside of the player prop, I have George Kittle over 51.5 receiving yards. The Chiefs have allowed huge games to tight ends all year, starting week 1 with Isaiah Likely, and that hasn't changed. Tight ends have gashed them every single week. So George Kittle, I think, is next. I like his over. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, give me the 49ers here. The Chiefs, I want them to lose so bad. I don't, well, except for Kelsey. I mean, like I like the team, but have you seen? It's like every freaking commercial. It's them. Have you seen this new one with Andy Reid doing the bundle Rooski, the State Farm bundle your home, like bundle Rooski?
I don't think I've seen that one. No, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's like one of the new. It's just, I don't know, man. I guess my bias here is that I'm just tired of seeing the Chiefs on like every freaking channel. It's just getting obnoxious, and I think this is a curious line. And I don't know, like the 49ers are, I feel like, fallen below expectations so far this season. And I mean, for certain, I mean, the McCaffrey injury isn't helping matters, obviously. But I don't know. I just feel like there's like a way, like they're going to find a way to pull this one out. Based on nothing. I'm probably not going to take it, but I want them to lose a game too. I can't wait till they lose. So
by the way,
yeah. So there's that bias involved as well. So go ahead.
I was about to say BetMGM no longer has -6, -110 on Jaguars. Bet Rivers does. This is the last sports book that currently has that line. So that's your last chance to get on that if you guys want to. Sounds like Quacky has Chiefs fatigue.
Chiefs fatigue. I have all sorts of fatigue, man. I'm tired. I'm always tired.
This is a tough game. What do the sharps say? Well, the public is on the Chiefs. If we see any line movement towards San Francisco, you know there's going to be sharp money in San Francisco, but we haven't seen that. It's been this line the entire time.
Yeah, so, you know, typically I like to. I find myself staying away from like betting these marquee type matchups.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, just for whatever that's worth to anybody.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Sunday night we have Jets and Steelers. So I like the Jets quite a bit here. The Steelers 2 weeks ago they hosted Dallas and they got outgained by 200 yards. I know they almost won the game, but like Dallas was the better team, at least in between the 20s. And like the Jets are a lot better than the Dallas. Like Dallas is horrible. We know that now. And so like I just don't really see how the Steelers win this game. Like, it seems so weird to say because they're only 1.5 point underdogs, but they're just not that good. Like the defense isn't even as good as it should be. The offense is a mess. They're missing 3 offensive linemen. They're going back to Russell Wilson or going to Russell Wilson, I should say, which seems like a disaster. I don't know what Tomlin's doing. I think like Tomlin's one of the few coaches who has the accolades to like make the sort of move without being too criticized for it. But still, it's if I'm a member of the Steelers, I'm kind of like confused by the situation. So I don't really like. I can't say I like the Steelers at all, but yeah, I do like the Jets coming off that loss on national TV. They're 2-4. They have to win this game. They fall to 2-5. They're kind of toast. So for the player prop, I like Greg Zuerlein over 1.5 field goals. So he owes us one here. Like after that
really.
Monday night disaster, he's a good kicker. He just struggled in the wind. But and there's not expected to be like any sort of wind here. It's 59 degrees light wind, so you don't have to worry about that. The Steelers are the number 2 team in the red zone, so the Jets could get down there a lot and just stall, and that means more field goals, and their line is going to want to redeem themselves. So I like that. So, any thoughts on this game?
Well, I've gone back and forth on this one. I guess I do like the Jets, but I'm not sure if I'm going to, take anything here. I saw that Garrett Wilson was getting shopped a little bit. A couple other teams were kind of curious and inquiring, about his status now that they have Devontae Adams. And I just feel like after Rodgers calling out Williams there at the press conference, it's just like there's just a lot of things happening there. And then their coach getting fired, Salah's getting fired. It's just like there's a lot going on over there right now. Like, how much are they on the same page? Like, I asked myself that question, and maybe they are, because they're, I think the argument against what I just said is that, well, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers have played together, and Lazard, they've played together. Like, there's just a lot going on there, and that's my one hesitation here. But I do like the Jets. I've never been a huge fan of Russell Wilson. I respect the quality years that he did have, but I mean, nothing in the last few years can like give me confidence in backing him here. So I'll lean Jets, but I'll probably stay away.
Okay. Well, that was a maybe on our Super Contest card.
Right. I felt a little bit differently after seeing that Garrett Wilson just, I guess some teams were inquiring or something like that about him. So it's just a lot going on for me, and that made me feel a little more hesitant.
Okay. I think Pfizer should prove that Kelsey and John Legend actually take the most recent jab. Yeah. They don't actually show the jab. I doubt they've taken it. I'd be shocked. And I hope you guys have not either. And Mets plus Jets Sunday night parlay 3-1 on FanDuel.
That's a beautiful parlay, baby, huh?
I don't know anything about these Mets, but they rhyme.
Mets.
Yeah, I don't. So that's good.
I don't know. That would be cool to see a Game 7, but I don't know. I feel like the Dodgers are gonna. I mean, they could win in 7 too, but
can you do Mets, Jets, Nets? Because basketball's about to start.
Oh wait, is there a preseason? It would be a preseason game.
Well, no. I mean, you parlay these teams for Sunday night.
Oh, right.
And then basketball starts on Tuesday, so they either play Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh my god, I think we got to do it. and then put like the New York Rangers in there too.
They don't rhyme though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, never mind.
That's the whole point of this exercise.
I've lost my mind. I've lost my freaking mind. Good God. Oh, how about the Winnipeg Jets?
Okay. Yeah. If they're playing in New York, sure. If they're playing in New York.
Oh my God! Imagine the Winnipeg Jets were playing in New York at the same time too. That would be awesome.
That's Jets, Nets.
The Jets sandwich: Jets, Mets, Nets, and Jets.
It's beautiful. Anyway, do you think after Georgia's defeat of Texas, in Texas, by the way, we'll put them back in the number 1 spot? I think that it has to be in consideration. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they could be either 1 or 2, maybe 3, but yeah, they have to be in the top 3 for sure. Jets will totally destroy the Steelers. Is that agreement with Rodgers and Wilson and Tomlin? Yeah, I think so. And first coach to ever bench a starting quarterback after 4-2 start. I don't get it. I really don't. It's not like couldn't he wait after a loss like to do it? Just doesn't make any sense. The Trumpster will reportedly be at the Steelers game with his new friends Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I heard that Antonio Brown spoke at a Trump rally. I wish I got to hear that. I would love to hear Antonio Brown speak. Like what he does on Twitter is just amazing. He's like the biggest troll of all time. I love me a good troll. So I wish I could have heard that speech. There's zero chance the Jets are trading or even shopping Wilson. None. Okay. I hadn't heard that either. Do you know where you heard that?
I can't remember now. I swear I got an alert on my phone.
Okay,
maybe I was dreaming too, because I did take a nap earlier. No, there's no way I dreamed that. That wouldn't make any sense. I swear I know I saw that. I swear like I got like an ESPN push notification or something.
I didn't see anything about that. So I can't wait for a 30-30 series in the New York Jets, 2024 Jets. Yeah, that'll I'm sure Tom will watch that and he'll tell me about that, and I'll be like, I haven't seen that.
Now, maybe I really am losing my mind. I swear I saw that. I swear I saw that.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, don't mean.
Cassandra says, I hope the Mets lose because I'm heavy on the Jets, and the books aren't going to let that catchy sounding parlay hit. That's fair enough. Maybe the Nets will lose, and that Jets Nets parlay won't win. Walter Quacky, do you think the Knicks will be the favorite in the East and a threat to win the NBA championship? I have to get into the back of the groove of basketball because we did really well last year with our picks and our parlays, but I haven't delved into it yet. I know the Celtics are favored and the Knicks are number 2 right now on FanDuel. The Celtics are plus 165 to win the East. The Knicks are plus 360, and then you have the Sixers at plus 490, and then the Bucks at 650, and every other team is like 17-1 or higher, including.
Wait, what are the Magic? What are the Magic?
17-1.
Take the Magic.
Take the Magic, huh?
Take the Orlando Magic. It's their year, baby. That's my team.
Yeah, to win the East itself, 17-1 seems like, if you'd like the Magic, it seems like a good number. To win the championship, they're 40-1. So yeah, Orlando is definitely getting better. I don't know if they're better than the Celtics, who just seem like a powerhouse, but yeah, you never know. There could be injuries and whatever. So yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there's a chance they could like make a run towards like the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe like they had to get a little bit lucky too, perhaps. But I think they're on the rise, and I know I'm biased because they're my team, but I love the Magic.
I don't get the Sixers are 10-1 to win the finals. That's crazy. They're never going to win it. Like, what is that number?
Yeah,
Embiid gets hurt every year. Like, that doesn't change. Mm-hmm. It's a constant. Like death taxes and Embiid getting hurt. It's always always happens. So they're reporting inquiries for on Wilson for sure.
Oh, okay.
You're not crazy. Okay.
I appreciate the reassurance, truly, Cassandra. Because sometimes I do think I'm losing it, because I took a nap, but I was like, what if I dreamed that? And we were just talking about how I never dream.
Yeah.
So that would seem less believable.
That makes sense. People are inquiring about him, mm-hmm. They just trade for Adams, I guess. Pittsburgh's at Winnipeg. Okay, well now there's no Mets Jets Nets parlay. Okay. But Mets Jets Nets money line parlay is 13.5 to 1 on FanDuel.
Nice.
That's play Wednesday at Atlanta. Well, there you go.
Dude, you gotta take it. You gotta.
Schefter tweeted the teams have inquired about Wilson trades. Jets aren't interested in trading. Okay. Yeah. All right. Kim McGill says if they are all healthy for the playoffs, the Sixers will be very good. I agree. Completely agree. But when has Embiid ever been healthy? It just doesn't happen. He gets hurt all the time. All the time. This guy can't stay healthy. He will be hurt at some point. Do not bet the Sixers win the championship. Although I did bet the Flyers to win the championship. I would say that. I don't know how they're doing. I have not followed this at all. But I've had so many people I respect about hockey tell me that the Flyers are a good team this year.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so I bet them at like 80-1 to win the Stanley Cup.
Wow, that's interesting because I am I one of those people you respect with hockey, and I didn't say that.
Well, you said Utah, and I bet Utah. But then like everyone from Philly, but like my dad, for example, he watches the Flyers religiously, and if they're bad, he'll tell me they're bad. He's not like a homer, but he's like, no, the Flyers are really good this year. And my doctor, who's like a huge Flyers fan. He's like, well, did you see the Flyers? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, they're looking really good. I'm like, okay. So I'm hearing great things about the Flyers. So I bet them to win the Stanley Cup at 70-1 or 80-1. It's not bad.
Maybe I'll take them.
Yeah. I don't even know how they're doing, but I heard good things.
Okay.
Parlay the Magic to win the division and the championship with Bo Nix Rookie of the Year and MVP.
No, parlay the Rookie of the Year with Magic to win the championship. Dude, could you imagine that? Like, no, like the Broncos. Okay, they're 4-3. The Broncos finished like 12-5. They beat the Chiefs twice, and like all of a sudden, like like Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams fall off a little bit, and like Bo Nix is out there running amok, and then like the Magic catch lightning in a bottle, man, and they're like in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you hedge. What do you do? Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
that could happen.
So A 2-game parlay: Orlando Magic to win the championship and Bo Nix Offensive Rookie of the Year is 168 to 1.
That's it.
Yeah. So hold on.
Wait, Magic to win the East or the division?
Magic to win the championship.
Oh, to win the champ. Wow, I feel like it should be a lot better than that.
Yeah. Well, no, hold on. I'm reading this wrong. They are sorry. There's 1,680 to 1. Sorry. So
wow.
yeah, I didn't count enough zeros there. Yeah, there's 1,680 to 1. So if you bet $10 on this, you can win $16,800.
Put me down for $10. Use our super chats. Come on, please do it.
Don't bet on this. You're just flushing $10 down the toilet.
No, and then you know what's going to happen? You're going to come to me first and be like, "Quacky, you were right." Oh God, let's move on.
Bo Nix is not winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Just don't take drugs. It's probably the best. Here's my fantasy question: would you start any of these guys over Goff? I'm going to list them all. Watson, Lawrence,
Winston.
I consider if you were starting Watson, Lawrence, Jones. I assume the same as Jones. Stafford, Huntley, Dalton, May, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, O'Connell, Rudolph. Would I start any of them over Goff? Okay, let's go through them one by one. Deshaun Watson, no. Trevor Lawrence, I'd rather start Goff. Daniel Jones, no. Stafford, no. Huntley, no. Dalton, no. May, no. Russell Wilson, no. Aaron Rodgers, no. O'Connell, no. Rudolph, no. No, I would not. Yeah, I would not. I think the closest you're getting is Lawrence. The Patriots defense is so bad, but I think the Jaguars are going to be so ahead that they're just going to run the ball a lot in the second half and just get out of there. And I heard it's going to be rainy, so there's that.
I'm going to put Tank Bigsby and Trevor Lawrence on a DFS team.
If Etienne's out, I love Bigsby. If Etienne's in, then it's tough to justify. But I still think you can play him. Actually, he might drop his ownership.
Put in Dearness Johnson again.
So Stafford is if Etienne's out, I like Dearness Johnson. Stafford is interesting. It's the same thing though. Like, so the problem with Stafford is that Kyron Williams gets so many carries in the red zone. You know, like he gets a touchdown every game. You know, the vig on him to score touchdowns like minus 235. Like he's going to score. He's going to take a touchdown away from Stafford. Plus, you don't know if Kupp is healthy, like you don't like. It's the problem that like you have the problem that John Sanders doesn't have, because John was deciding between Pickens and Kupp, and he's going to know that because by 3 o'clock, like they're going to declare if Kupp is active or not. But here you have Goff at 1 o'clock, so you're not going to know if Kupp is going to play by then. So that's your issue here with Stafford. So that's why I would play Goff over Stafford. And then Huntley, these guys aren't good. Like Huntley, like Dalton maybe gets there in garbage time, but you can't really count on that. And if like he throws interceptions again, maybe they go to Bryce Young too. You have to worry about that. Drake May, it's kind of interesting because he runs around a lot, but I don't know. I'd rather go with the sure thing. Yeah, and then Rodgers has a not a very tough matchup, but like not an easy matchup either. So yeah, that's why I would go with Goff there. So, and Goff is really good against the blitz. The Vikings blitz at the third highest rate in the NFL. Goff is awesome against the blitz. His stats against the blitz are better than when he's not blitzed. So it's a good matchup for Goff. That's why I'm considering Goff in DFS this weekend. Just pair him with either Laporta or St. Brown. Probably just Laporta. And then I would run it back with Jefferson. I think that's a good lineup. I may do it, but I'm not sure. I would start anything over Goff. Yeah, exactly. All right. So Slew says, speaking of parlay, some guy had a $10 parlay with every NFL game last week. It was live Monday night for $123,000 that just covered. Man, would y'all hedge that? And if so, how much? Cash out options, $37,000.
I'd like to think I'd take the cash out.
Yeah. I guess so. You could probably hedge for like 50 grand if you had a credit line. The problem is like it's gonna be hard to just like deposit 50 grand into an account. I know, right. If you're in Las Vegas, they would give you a credit line. But online you wouldn't do that. So like with the fact that you probably couldn't do that, I think I would cash out at 37 grand. It depends too. If like it depends what your situation is financially. If you're a millionaire and you're doing this, like you don't care. But if you're just a regular Joe, then yeah, I think you cash out at 37 grand. I mean, it's too much,
especially on $10. I mean,
yeah. Direct Energy sucks. Yeah, I mean they're sponsoring this. I have no idea what Direct Energy is, but if you say so, Chris, I don't know what they are, but if you want to tell us why, we already talked badly about our other sponsor and also the King of Thailand, so might as well go for that. So Ravens Buccaneers. So there's some news here. There's two pieces of news here. Mike Evans was iffy to play, but Schefter said he will play, even though he barely practiced this week. But we don't know if he's going to be 100%. That's the problem here. It's a big problem because that's the best way to expose this Baltimore defenses via outside receivers. So if Evans is healthy, I expect him to play better than Godwin. But if he's not healthy, then it's going to be tough. The second piece of news is that Vita Vea got downgraded to questionable. So anytime you have a late downgrade, it's tough, except if it's like an illness that Walker had. I don't know what this is specifically, but that's like if they don't have Vea, if the Buccaneers don't have Vea, like Derrick Henry's going to be able to run all over them, and that's a huge issue. So, I like the Buccaneers heading into this week, but now with these injuries popping up, I don't know. Like if Vea's out, I don't want I don't want to place a high bet in the Buccaneers. Especially if Evans is banged up. I probably won't even bet this game at that point. So any thoughts on this one?
Oh, no. Well, now I'm getting nervous because we put him on our card.
We did. Yeah. That Vea news came after our deadline. So
right. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I think 3.5 seems too easy. I think the Bucs are a good team. I also the old home dog under the lights in prime time. I think that 3.5 could come that half point could really help us out. At least I hope so, though I don't feel nearly as confident after what you just said. But, I will say with the Ravens, I was wrong about the Derrick Henry thing. I had thought that wouldn't really work out, and so far he's proven me wrong. But I don't know. The Bucs are a team they've been a surprise to me, and I really think they're going to keep this one close. Hopefully, even in spite of what you just shared there. But we put them on our card, and I'll take the Bucs plus 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still leaning that way, but yeah, if Vea is out, no interest at all in them. So, what's Godwin's over on the receiving yards? 74.5 right now, at least on FanDuel. There might be a better number out there. I'll take a look if you want me to, but it's. I'll post my props and same game parlays on Monday as usual. Chris says I work for the competitor in Calgary. No one ever says anything good about Direct Energy. They're the Ryan Leaf of utility providers. I know it's so funny. Yeah, I've never heard of them, so I'll take your word for it. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, so but what is the Peyton Manning of utility providers? Now I have to know. Anyway, so we have Chargers Cardinals here. There's sharp money coming in Arizona, and I think that's based on the news that Marvin Harrison Jr. passed a concussion protocol, which is a nice bonus if you like Arizona. I think this is a matchup versus a motivational angle conflict where I just think the Chargers are a much better team than the Cardinals. They played very well this year. Like even in their losses, like the two losses they had, they were tied with Pittsburgh until Herbert got injured, and then they just fell apart with Taylor Heineke. And then their other loss, they had an injured Herbert and like half the roster was out against the Chiefs, and they still played well against the Chiefs. They only lost by 7. So this has been a very impressive Charger team that I think that is still underrated. But yeah, the Cardinals coming off a blowout loss, and Kyler Murray has done really well after blowout losses. 6-3 against the spread after losses of 17 or more in his career. Arizona is like pretty simple to handicap as far as like a motivational angle standpoint. Now this doesn't always work, but whenever they get blown out, they tend to play very well the next week. Doesn't always work in the win column, but still they're going to give it their best. If they if they upset an opponent or blow out a team, you're gonna get them at their worst. Just look at them this year. They blew out the Rams in week 2, and then they just they laid an egg. They laid an egg against the Lions the next week. They beat the Niners in an upset. The next week they laid an egg against the Packers. Like this is what they do under Murray, and they're coming off that blowout loss. Like you're going to get Arizona at its best, but it may not be good enough. Like the Chargers might be that good. So I'm still going to side with the Chargers here, but no play for me. Any thoughts on this game?
Hey, did you see? Was it last week at the beginning of like the game, like the first quarter? Jim Harbaugh went to the locker room.
Yeah, he had.
Dude, I bet he just had to take a dump.
That's what I thought too. But then they said he had a heartbeat issue or something.
Oh no, I didn't hear that then. Well, I feel like an ass.
It's like a regular heartbeat or something. He said that's happened to him before. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought in the moment I was like, he probably just had to go to the bathroom.
That was my first thought too. I was like,
yeah.
So any thoughts on this?
Oh yeah, sorry, got him. Body like this, you don't get the brains with it. No, I don't really have a strong feeling here. I'll go with the San Diego Superchargers though. Like kind of to echo what you said, I'm not going to trust this Cardinals team until they show me a little more consistency. But based on what you were saying on that trend, maybe they'll play a little bit better here. But I'll go with the Superchargers, who've been maybe a little bit better than I expected them to be. So
yeah. You like the Chargers. The Bet River is no longer has -6 on the Jaguars. Every book's at 6.5 now.
Oh, wow.
So let's see. NMAX is the Peyton Manning of utility provider.
Okay.
They just sound better. NMAX. Yeah. Direct entity is the Michael Jordan of baseball. Nice.
That was good.
That was awesome.
Fan of the roast, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Only in Alberta. Okay,
yeah. That's why we haven't heard of these things. But yeah, well, I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything about this stuff. So, all right. I guess that's it for the show. Any other final thoughts here, Tom, before we head on out?
Yeah, I guess that's about. I'm trying to think here. That's about all I got. Oh yeah, but look at this. Bo Nix ran for 61 against the Chargers. Kyler Murray might run for how much?
Thoughts. So I think that might be one of our plays here. Murray rushing yards because like I said, Murray's going to try really hard off a blowout loss, and it's on national TV.
And
so yeah.
And like figure if Bo Nix ran for 61, Kyler Murray might be able to get to 50. So
right, exactly. Bo Nix is so great.
Yeah.
But before we head out, I wanted to show you guys this trick here. It's not really a trick. It's just like it's how
to steal cable.
Not my friend Mike here, but no. I think that I think this is pretty instrumental. So you can see this FanDuel thing, right? Okay, so let's go to games. Let's do Jaguars. So I showed Andy this example on Thursday after the show. So you go. Let's just do like a simple parlay. Let's parlay the Jaguars -6.5, and let's go to passing props. Trevor Lawrence over 230.5 passing yards, and let's go receiving yards. Let's go to Brian Thomas over 54.5 receiving yards -110. So as you can see here, this parlay pays out plus 385, right? So you might be wondering, what are you talking about here? So if you change Brian Thomas over to Brian Thomas under, you get plus 685. Isn't that interesting? Huge difference. And the reason is because you're negatively correlating your parlay. Because if Lawrence goes over, or I should say if Brian Thomas goes over, then there's a better chance Lawrence goes over.
Right.
But if Lawrence goes over, there's a better chance that this Brian Thomas thing doesn't hit. So FanDuel pays you a lot more if you negatively correlate your parlay. And this could still hit. I mean, like Thomas could just get shut out and Lawrence could have a great game otherwise. So It's usually good to have like a negatively correlated piece in your parlay. So just wanted to
interesting.
show
okay.
that. Yeah. A last play T. Higgins touchdown.
Okay.
Well, hopefully this still covers for the Browns. If you're a golfer in Alberta, the two Kanasakis courses are spectacular. Played them about 20 years ago.
Kananaskis.
What is that?
I don't know.
I think that's interesting how they do that. It's just it's calculated just based on the correlation. Like I noticed that a couple weeks ago when I was correlating, like I forget what game it was. It was like two pass catchers with their quarterback, and like just putting the quarterback in over like barely changed the odds at all. So
Wow, yeah.
right. So, and then I noticed that again on Thursday, and that's what really brought it to my attention. Was I bet what I bet Spencer Rattler under yards, but I bet I didn't bet anyone over. I considered a Saints pass catcher. No, I bet Jawan Johnson over. That's what it was. And the odds for that were like astronomical for a four gamer, for a four leg parlay. It paid out like 17-1, which like I usually get like 11-1. And I'm like, why is this so high? And I clicked. I try to figure it out. It was the Jawan Johnson over with the Spencer Rattler under, which is the negative correlation.
Right.
Yeah. So Tom pronounced it correctly. Congratulations!
Oh, nice.
Tom. You get the bonus points.
All right.
Imagine playing golf in Yosemite.
I think it's pronounced Yosemite.
Yosemite. Title one there.
Yosemite Sam.
Can I ask us?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. All right. So, any final thoughts here, or you want to head on out?
Geez, I think that's about it. I really like the Packers tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I hope, and I've been for the regular viewers of the show. Remember last season, I was almost always wrong on the Packers until the playoffs. But this year, I've read them pretty well. So
yeah, have you gotten every one of their games right?
Yeah, I don't think I've taken them every week though.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I might have gotten them wrong I might have taken them in the Vikings game. I remember going back and forth on that one. I mean, I didn't bet anything myself, but I don't know what I said. I can't remember what I said on the show because I was going back and forth. So
okay. Well, I know. I
didn't have a strong opinion, so it doesn't count.
Right. Well, I know you had him big against the Colts in week 2, and also the Eagles in week 1. So yeah, you've been on the Packers correctly this year. Yeah. So yeah, well, let's hope that's a winner. I might place a bet on that. Just based on
it's going to be like 30-20.
Okay, fair enough.
I think so.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thanks especially
thanks
to
everybody.
John Sanders for the 311 super chat. As always, this means so much. The super chats because YouTube ads pay nothing, especially today after that's Tom Curse. So just kidding. They're not gonna talk us for that. Anyway, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. Tom is always the best guest.
Hey, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I always love being here. We always have a good time.
Yeah,
just trying to get some laughs.
Yeah, I mean, we have these similar phone call conversations all the time. So all right, so before we head out, do you want to plug your Twitch channel here?
Yeah, I guess we'll put it on there. I need to update that. I'm a three. I think it says 3-time Rocket League tournament champion. I'm up to like 6 or 7 now, baby. I lost count, including a platinum tournament win.
Wow!
But clearly I haven't updated that in a while. But yeah, just be on there bantering when I am on there and talking about whatever nonsense. Walter joins as well from time to time, but I haven't been doing it much lately. But and I'm on Twitter. I every maybe like once or twice a week I have a hockey pick that I'll tweet out. Usually they're pretty good, even though the one the other night lost. But great to be with you guys. Thanks for having me as always, Walt.
And you're on Twitter. You're Quacky_T. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's the same picture there, the purple and there you'll see my icon.
Okay, follow Tom on Twitter for some hockey plays and whatnot. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday with Evan, Wednesday with Kenny, Thursday with Andy, and then Saturday with Tom as always. So regular schedule next week. Last comment. Chris says I'm heading to Toronto next September to compete in the NHL '94 World Championships. Maybe that's awesome. Do they really have that? That's so cool.
Oh wow, that'd be awesome. I loved the NHL '94, NHL '95 games on Sega. Like it's so funny because like when you made a pass to like another player, like every now and then it would like knuckle like over them, but it's like it was just like a magnet to like you just kind of like have to have the direction. I
That's
loved
awesome.
I loved NHL 94, NHL 95. Those were some great games.
Those are the best. Yeah, on Genesis. Yeah, they were so good. I love those games. Yeah, that's so cool that they have championships for that. So good luck, Chris. That's really awesome.
Good luck. I love they always had like they would have the organ playing like
Mhm.
like that sort of thing going on in the
Yeah,
background.
so cool. Yeah, we have the Genesis bracket. They have an SNES all day as
Oh,
well.
okay,
That's
okay.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
So good luck. Tell
Good
us
luck.
how you do.
That's awesome, man.
That's really, well, it's next
But,
September, but yeah, tell us
yeah.
eventually. Tell us how you do. All right, guys. Have a great night. Hope you guys win all your bets tomorrow and Monday. Again, we'll have final thoughts on the site, and then Monday we're gonna have the singing parlays and whatnot. So look out for content there. And have a great night, guys. I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right. Have a good night, guys.